79 Melbourne. Hawthorn 5-6-36 at the 8-minute mark of the final term. So even though Hawthorn got those 2 consecutive goals for the first time in the match, Melbourne have said, no. This is our game. They've kicked 2 in a row, and the margin is a game-high 43 points.
Sicily's filthy. As a key defender, there is nothing worse than having someone sit on your head. And Bailey Fritsch on that occasion, knee right in the middle of the back, pretty good grab. Would have looked a bit better if it was cleaner, but Simon Goodwin just giving Clayton Oliver high fives for his work this afternoon. He's had 21 touches, so been pretty good. His direct opponent. What's he had? He hasn't had a lot. He had 16, has he?
Well, other than Petrarca, who's been dominating, he dominated another clearance again, comes out and hits Fridge. And he's going to go back for a handful. But at Petrarca again out of the stoppage, and if you look at those stats, Ops, I mean, he's had 28, and then you've got Sicily, Warple, Weddle and Scrimshaw all in the high 20s, and most of them were kicks around the back, had in the first half.
Well, I think that stat you said before, Fitzy, about kicks backwards, 25-5 or whatever it was. You want to win games of footy, you've got to put pressure on your opposition. You're not going to put pressure on them by just kicking backwards and playing in there attacking 50.
The Melbourne supporters in the MCC on the edge of their seats, they want to see a bag. Bailey Fritsch comes in and
so Melbourne have won this game, guys. Melbourne,
because you've won the game. It's over.
Just watching Fritsch.
Hawthorn suck. Melbourne just
his patterns that he's running. Sicily's not a good matchup for him, because Sicily actually likes to play in front. Fritsch is happy for you to play in front, because what he'll do, he'll lead off the leg, and very difficult player to play on if you are trying to play Bailey Fritsch from in front.
On the Tyre Power scoreboard, your trusted tyre experts. Melbourne 13-7-85, Hawthorn 5-6-36. I think Miles has just done the mic drop over there with that.
No, well, I didn't do the scoreboard and Knox was talking, so I was like, you can do the scoreboard.
I was waiting for you to talk, Fitzy. I didn't know what to do. I just thought I'd jump in and save you from drowning.
I've just got a dirty look from the MCC.
That's right. Back in the middle. Reeves wins the tap down. It's a Melbourne ball again. Sparrow, high kick inside 50. Pickett jumped a week early. No free kick. Ball comes to the front of that contest. Sparrow kept running and got the ball. Handball to Neil Bullen. Had a bit of a fumble. D'Ambrosio with a tackle. Neil Bullen got it out, though, to Billings from a standing start into the 50. Fridge! Bailey's got it again!
He's made Sicily look really silly in the last 10 minutes, because he's led on him on one occasion, he's sat on his head on another occasion, and he's outmarked him on the third occasion. So Sicily won't want these last 7 minutes back.
Bailey Fritsch has a chance for half a dozen.
They'll go off here.
Oh, these fans will be delirious.
Same spot as he kicked the goal earlier in the term. Not his last one, but earlier. We're right behind him.
Walking right.
From just inside the 50. No, don't like it.
Kick the right.
It's out to the right.
You can see where he was walking. He was actually heading towards the middle of the point and goalpost. That's where it went.
It was a behind. Went into the bunker, right of the green. Ox?
It couldn't quite equal the bag of 6 that Ox kicked here, round 1998 against Carlton. Ops.
This is almost stalker type material here from you, Miles.
Oh, look, I've been a big fan.
I think it was pretty even at half-time in that game. Had to kick 3 in the... five in the third. Nothing wrong. Keep going, Fitzy.
Oh, I'm doing my best here, Ox. Welcome back to SEN, mate.
No, it's great to be back. Whitey's absolutely giving me donuts. Gee,
Whitey's giving you nothing. He said he knew you. I've met you for the first time. I'm on you, mate. I'm on you.
Well, kids from Narracourt, we know they're honest.
Certainly already one of us. Sicily in defence for the D's. Well, that's got to be in the back, surely. Back here to Fritsch. Handball to Oliver. Outside of the boot check side attempt. Cut off by Scrimshaw. So Hawthorn just need to settle here. This could get really ugly. 50 points the margin. Thanks to Tyre Power, we're going to start get our power player rankings soon too. And also some around the grounds for Chemist Warehouse. Freo also won the game earlier today.
Well, it doesn't matter that May and Lever are off, because the ball hasn't been in defensive 50 for Melbourne.
Our expert for MET GT's David Schwartz. So wins up. He's been good today. Just turned the kick in board. McVee now wearing the number 4. He spilt it. Chain of handballs now for Hawthorn through the centre of the ground. They've only got Ginnivan one out forward, so it's a genuine one-on-one. Him v Howes. Ginnivan found some space, but Howes went one better. He needs some support. Guinea goes back. Howes did well. Getting back there was, I think that's Haller. They've done a good job here, the D's. It was Trent Rivers, in fact, that jumped on top.
He's got to get better in the one-on-ones. It's 4 or 5 in a row that he's been beaten. He's got to have a win occasionally. He can't be just a ground ball player.
Gawn wins the tap down. There's a whistle and there's a Melbourne free kick. And it's coming back into the last line of defence effectively.
Viney.
And Viney will take the free kick.
His number's been like 19. He's had a good start of the year again. He looks like he's done a power of work over the pre-season.
Spreads it to Howes. And then they just kick it around now into the hands of Salem.
Sure what to make of Hawthorn today. They play in spurts.
Yeah, after this I'll also stream Sydney versus Essendon. I think that'll be a pretty good game. I'm tipping the Bombers to win, but I hope Sydney win. Yeah, that'll be a full game, so yeah. Sounds good.
Couldn't get anything going. They've been playing catch-up ever since, and they just got too far behind.
And they're not an easy defence to get through Melbourne.
No.
But at the same time, if you don't go inside, you're not going to have a chance. So their forwards might as well been out there for probably half the game because the ball just hasn't been down there.
Hawks win the ball back on the southern side of the ground, and now Watson has the ball on the boundary. Dead set centre wing. Shane Warne stands side of the MCG. Kicks down the line. He wants Chol. He gets to the front. Got hands to it. Couldn't complete the mark. Gunston front and centre. In-ball handball to McDonald. To Warple. Chipping ball to Ward, who marks 48 from home straight in front.
I'm having a look here down on the boundary. Even the Demon supporters are leaving.
Ward deep into the pocket.
Dinner tonight.
He wanted Impey, who ran down but couldn't take the mark, and now Melbourne will link it out of defence. Langdon up to Brown. Got spoiled by Frost but gave away a free kick in the process. Free kick to Ben Brown, right half back.
Where's dinner? Entrecôte?
Yeah, we normally, if we're going to slum it, we'll go there. We go to Chin Chins or...
You get chin-chinned at Entrecôte. That's
Look at these sorts of restaurants. These restaurants I've never heard of before. I go to McDonald's on the way home.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you can get the new surprise fries.
Exactly.
You never know what you're going to get. I should have done a Forrest Gump thing with that Whitey Macca's. Life is like surprise fries. You never know what you're going to get.
Marketing sort of game.
I have to talk about something exciting because Salem's just kicking it sideways back here as they're counting down the Makita clock. Gawn sitting in behind the footy. He's got Petty wider, about 30 metres in space, uses him. I've run out of David Schwartz stats.
Hey John, your team's playing tonight, Sydney versus Essendon, and Essendon got a late change. One of their players is ruled out of illness. It's going to be a good game because they'll get to stream the whole game. And there's a good rivalry between these guys, these teams. It's normally very close. Last year it was very close. Essendon won. So, yeah. It's a bit different doing an AFL stream. Yeah.
Chol was not strong enough in the contest there at all. Ball went wider to McGuinness, and yeah, this is just starting to look a little bit poor here for Hawthorn. They had a good passage and went to a contest, but Ox, you said that before, and Chol can jump, but sometimes you just want to see him use his body a lot better.
They haven't got any forwards other than Lewis that can win one-on-ones. You know, Gunston and Bruce 5-10 years ago, yes, but at the moment they've got one player that will win more contested ball than not. And that's not good enough for a forward line.
Boundary throw-in, 30 metres around on the Shane Warne side for Hawthorn, but the clearance comes through Rivers. Chip over to Petrarca. I think you could safely put in the book 3 votes here for Christian. Now he's just holding his hand here.
Just popping his finger back in. Oh, it's out. Oh, my goodness.
We're seeing that on the Trojan Tools replay.
Oh. See, that looked bad.
So the kick got pulled inside to Gawn. And I want to go on with it a little bit here. Clary and
Had to be
Nash. Not sure, bit of push and shove. Up inside 50. Here comes Fritsch. He's looking for 6. But the Hawks Through a passage of play, Warple, Nash, McKenzie. Ignored Warple again. Looks like he has good ability, McKenzie. He'll be a player out to Chol in space, centre wing. Just walked around. He turned like the Titanic. Ginnivan with a really smart tap on. Went over the top to McDonald. Up to Lewis in the goal square. And coming back from absolutely nowhere was Christian Petrarca. They go and get around him for a spoil. The crowd love it. The MCC love it.
Like they're celebrating like they're throwing the
thought he kicked the goal. Like even he was proud. He was happy with himself.
He was. He's probably never done this.
Smiling like a Cheshire cat. Getting back there in time for that. 13.886 to DC the Hawks. 5-7-37 the margin. 49 thanks to Tyre Power. Your trusted tyre experts. We love the team at Tyre Power.
We do indeed. As the Demons kick it around in defence. Petty's had it a couple of times. Goes back to McVie in the defensive goal square. So they thought about going the southern side. They're going to go the members side with another short pass into Rivers wearing the green boots. Down the line they go again to Howes. One of the youngsters coming through for the Demons that has been good the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, he's been pretty good.
Nope,
Doing the Brownlow medalist jumper and Shamo Woden.
Yes, they're going back the other way now. It's interesting that Taj wouldn't take his dad's number.
Yeah. He probably wants his own identity and to carve out his own career and not in the shadow of his father.
Langdon has the ball now for the Demons. Goes down the southern side up towards Viney, who did well to at least create a contest when he was outnumbered. With Scrimshaw coming late, the ball's gone out of play for a throw-in on the southern side.
Ox, what are your thoughts on the fluoro boots? What if they rolled in back in the day, the fluoro boots into the room?
Jeff Farmer brought them out at Cardinia Park.
You'd want to be good.
We didn't get a kick, and Neil Danaher said to him at half-time, put them back in the drawer, young fella. You're not capable of wearing them.
Gawn fell over, then threw it out. Advantage paid. Hawthorn had the ball. McKenzie handballs to Nash. Inside 50. Melbourne have got two players back, and Joel was not going to beat either of those. Petty takes the mark for the Demons
if
again.
Joel's going to be a deep option like that, they are in big trouble. If they take Lewis up and they've only got Joel deeper, Ox, there's going to be a big issue.
No, they're very lean down forward and very lean down back. They're in a rebuild. If you're a Hawthorn supporter, you weren't expecting to be playing finals this year. This is about a building year.
Chandler has gone inside 50 for the D's after a passage of 45-degree angle kicks. And Cozzy Pickett will have a shot at goal about 35 metres out, 50-degree angle.
Well, that's been the problem. Other than Van Ruin, they've all been small players kicking the goals. Chandler's had 2, Pickett's had 3, better kick his 4th. Fritsch has kicked 5, Billings has got 1, Petrarca's got 1, and Van Ruin. So, you know, they haven't needed the tools to do too much damage at all.
Cozzy Pickett to make it number 4 and pushes it right. So with about 4.5 minutes remaining on the Makita or the outdoors clock, another minor score there to the Demons. Sees them move to 87. They lead the Hawks 37. The margin 50 points here at the MCG for AFL Nation for 4 and 20 pies. Miles Fitzner, the experienced season caller, and Adam White, the superstar, and David Schwartz, former and cult demon.
You got any more stats or you're out?
I'm out, mate.
Hang on. Started the chain and it's still continuing. Hang on up towards half forward. And the mark again being taken by Petty in defence.
This is one of the good stories. Harrison Petty's first game back. Very, very important player, and he's done a fine job.
Petty will kick back towards the wing. Pickett stretches and marks as Scrimshaw came late. Right on the members' wing.
Little boot to the head. We'll just check your Red Energy, switch to Red Energy power play rankings too.
Pickett goes into the centre circles. McVie takes the mark, chips on to Rivers.
Opens up here.
Yeah, I thought he might have gone then, and he didn't. He's decided to go back and kick over the mark. They spread it wide. It's okay too. 4 marks for the Demons. It was the sub who came on for Stephen May. He's 70 from home. The kick into the pocket. Pickett up. No, he can't climb. I thought he was going to take a hanger.
He was there.
He's going to take one. He's going to take one this year.
The mark instead. And he will hopefully get the Hawks out of trouble.
A bit like Tom Stewart the other night. If he had taken that one, it would have been a nice little photo.
I haven't seen that yet.
He was up.
So
it was Jezelenko like.
Was he?
Yeah, just one-on-one. He actually had almost a fresh area. He nearly He nearly swatted it.
He does love flying for them.
Yeah.
In the Red Energy power rankings, Sicily 116. He's had 27 disposals, but about 18 of those are playing kick to kick.
He's had some goals kicked on him too. Prince has got 3 or 4 on him.
Neil Bullen, 60 from home, just pulled the kick into the little hole. Coming out was Fritsch. Getting back though was Watson. Doing your job, son. You fill the hole. And look, he's only small, but the little pocket rocket, the little wizard Watson, does have that aeroderm about him. It sort of almost looks like he may have even tipped some of that hair.
It was like Neil Barn one day. He said we're playing against Sydney, and they said we need someone to get in the hole in front of Plugger, and Steve Phoebe puts his hand up and said, I'll do it. And Barney said, no, we don't think you're meant to do it. You're not big enough or strong enough. Crowd, 43,960.
That's not bad.
That's a pretty good crowd. So well done to everybody before all the local footy starts. It's a good chance to get out there and see your teams.
Trent Rivers was at centre-half back. Kicked it to Oliver. Short kick. Gone out on the lead. He didn't bend right over, but he was on the full lead. Oh, that's an unreal handball. It went through to Sparrow. Runs into an open goal. And it's the cream on top of a very well-cooked donut. 14-9-93. The D's lead the Hawks 5-7-37. 56 points the margin. Sparrow goes back.
So Big Maxi off for a rest. That might see him out. Van Rulen will go into the middle. And the margin's probably where it should be, to be fair. Melbourne have had fair control of this match most of the afternoon because you Pickett coming off for a rest and Jack Viney going back on. So, yeah, Hawthorn have got a lot of work to do. I thought last week against the Bombers they actually had a go, like they were willing to take the game on, and they became a real threat. But today they just refused to do that early with May and Lever down there. So they need to reassess the way they're playing their footy if they're going to be dangerous.
Melbourne 4 in a row. With Moore winning the clearance, a handball to Ward, floats it in the direction of Newcombe. He gets tackled to the ground out on the southern side. Gets pushed into the ground by Viney, according to the umpire, and he'll take the free kick. With just over a minute to play on the Makita clock. Newcombe in short to Warple. It's not 15. Warple dispossessed. It comes back to Newcombe, back to Warple. Breaks one tackle, not the second. Pushed as he kicks. That'll come out okay. McDonald, though, he's told to play on. He does play on. He checks sides. A goal. No, he doesn't. Into the post.
Yeah, the base.
I'm not sure what the umpire was doing there. It must have been touched off the boot because it clearly went over 15 metres. But it is a behind. The Hawks 5-8-38, Melbourne 14-9-93. 26 minutes played in the final term here at the MCG. It is AFL Nation for the TAC and for 4-20.
Not a Melbourne player person has left the ground.
It was a kick in. It was shocking to try and find Salem, and they nearly made a meal of it. Gone a bit wider. Frost even dropped the chest mark. He made a meal of it. Ben Brown, haven't caught him a lot today either. So Fritsch a long way up the, Langdon. Up the ground, finds Neil Bullen for the old-fashioned 1-2. It'll go over the boundary line. We'll have a throw-in on the Shane Warne stand side. 14-9-93, that easily the Hawks. 5-8-38, AFL Nation. And it's been a superb performance by the Demons and a superb performance in the return of the Demon to SEN2 in David Schwartz.
Sicily off having a rest, 27 possessions.
Kick inside 50 now for the Hawks. A foot race again. And Ginnivan not in the fight. Chandler now centre wing far side. Cut and worked the angles. Went inboard as Brown on a long sustained lead. He put his arms up. Did Brown.
And the Melbourne Football Club have won. Let's get ready for Sydney versus Essendon.
I reckon this is too far for Big Ben. He's got to kick it 57 metres.
55 points the margin. This to take it over 10 goals for big, bustling Ben Brown.
55 points. Meters, but the
kicking into a tricky breeze.
Ben Brown steams in from 40 metres to where he kicks it from 55. Oh! And the cherry on top, no. I did it
Hang on.
again. I did it again.
We're going to go to a review?
We go to a review.
Got to have a review. I think it was only touched
We've all
about.
done that. We've done that
So
twice
we've
today.
had the icing on the donut. Now we're about to have the cherry on top of
So stay listening on Trip.
Under pressure, pick it off the ground, loves it.
Are you?
Great to be back in the box.
Inside 50 once more. Big fly over the top. Came from Petty.
And I think Robbo probably takes the votes for us today. He was best on ground. Thanks for being with us this afternoon. It's the Swans and the Bombers up next for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M rocks footy.
That quarter, the titanium caravans. Stay off-road and off-grid for longer with a luxurious titanium caravan. Visit titaniumcaravans.com.au.
For Ream Hot Water,
Triple M rocks footy.
built tough for Aussie conditions. When it comes to water heating, ask your plumber to install a Ream. 3.5 minutes until
Triple M rocks footy.
Three minutes until
Triple M rocks footy.
Two and a half minutes until
Triple M rocks footy.
Two minutes until
Triple M rocks footy.
seconds until
Triple M rocks footy.
One minute until
Triple M rocks footy.
seconds until
Triple M rocks footy.
Shut up! The footy's on Triple M!
Triple M rocks footy.
This quarter for Bunnings Trade. Score a Bunnings e-gift card when you spend $250 or more on Makita in-store or online. Ends this Sunday. T's and C's apply.
Good evening and
And welcome to the picturesque SCG as round 2 continues on Triple M footy. Essendon arrive in the Harbour City following a victory over Hawthorn last week, and tonight they face a red-hot Sydney who have made short work of Melbourne and Collingwood in successive weeks. The Swans and the Bombers from McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M rocks your Saturday night football. Ream Hot Water, built tough for Aussie conditions. And don't forget, when it comes to water heating, ask your plumber to install a Ream. Brad Seymour with you, a condensed pre-match as the first bounce only 5 minutes away, and thanks to Triple M Prime Time for Mitsubishi Heavy Industries. Mitsubishi Heavy Industries air conditioners. Put your trust in the experts in air. As I turn to my co-caller this afternoon, or this evening, Brenton Speed, always a pleasure to reconnect with you. Welcome to the radio.
Great to hear you back on the airwaves, Snapper. You weren't available for opening round, but you're here in round 2 now, and the Sydney teams are up and about alongside Troy Luff and Brad Seymour. How excited are you about the potential with round 2 going into a Saturday night of an all-Sydney grand final in 2024, boys?
Oh, it's a long way away, Speedy, but the two informed teams, you would suggest, only 2 weeks in, of course, but they are looking red hot at the moment. As I turn to my man on special comments this evening, the Bali Geckos life member, 155 in red and white, former Swan. G'day, Luffy.
G'day, Snapper, Speedy, and everyone else listening. What a great game it's going to be tonight. The arch rivals have had a great rivalry, and I've just gone through some of the players. There is so much tall timber out there. Essendon have 5 players above 200 centimetres. Draper, Wright, Mackay, Cock, Goldstein. And for the Swans, McDonald, Armady, McLean, Grundy. So much tall timber, but I guess that helps for the little micro forwards in Gresham and Papley, that they might be able to get in and under and get a few scraps and some nice little goals there.
All right, Luffy, we'll come back to you in just a moment. But for Bob Jane T-Marts, rounding out your call team this evening is the very, very handsome young man, Justin Edwards.
Oh, good evening, everyone. Thank you, Snapper. Absolutely beautiful conditions for footy down here. Essendon have made a couple of changes since they first announced their team on Thursday. Yesterday, Darcy Parish was ruled out. He didn't make the trip up from Melbourne. He's got a little bit of hamstring awareness. So yesterday, Ben Hobbs replaced him. And then they've got another late change on top of that just a few minutes ago. Jake Kelly, with illness, he is a laid out. So he misses what would have been game number 150. Has to wait for that one. Alwyn Davey Jr. comes into the Essendon side and he will be the sub. No late changes for Sydney. Corey Warner is the Swan sub.
Oh, outstanding by you for Bob Jane T-Marts. Don't forget the great buy 3, get 1 free, plus instant cashback deals. Call or shop online today. T's and C's apply. Set this one up for us, Luffy. We're only 2.5 minutes away from the first bounce.
It's been a great rivalry between these two teams going way back to the mid-90s. There was just close games. Obviously, the 96 prelim final, 1 point there. And it's continued for another 20 years. The last 8 games between these two sides, 7 of them decided by under.
Sydney or Essendon, who will win? They decide. I think personally Sydney will win. Then Gold Coast, then Richmond, then GWS. So yeah, I'm talking. I think that's who win. I got Sydney as my tip. Here's all my tips this week that I've done. Let the game begin. I think there is less than a minute before the start. I can't show the game due to copyright issues. I could get a strike and I'd have to private all my videos, or I could get terminated on YouTube. So I'm sorry, but you can listen to it for people who want to listen to it.
Bounce down the ground, he can kick goals. So we'll see how Essendon use them, whether it's going to be one on, one off, or keep one on the ground in a forward line while the other one's in the ruck, because it will really stretch the Swans defenders with so many tools.
Their opposition tonight, from what we've seen the last 2 weeks, Speedy, will provide a stern examination. No Mills still, no Parker, no Adams, yet we can't be anything but impressed from the last 2 weeks.
Right now, they need to work out who their captain is tonight, because Zach Merritt's in the middle of the SCG waiting for Dane Rampy, it is, who's captaining the team. Of course, Callum Mills is captain of the Swans, but he's in absentia until mid-season with his shoulder. And because of all those big names missing in midfield, Isaac Heaney's gone into the centre, and he's the #1 ranked player in the AFL right now.
What a difference it's made for him as well. And we know that he struggled a little bit with an ankle injury last year. He's got it right over the summer. And instead of being a forward where sometimes you're 50-50 how much ball you're going to get, how many marks, how many goals. He's doing both and getting so much of the ball.
There have been some great images that the Channel 7 host broadcaster have been providing tonight. The Sydney Swans have teamed with Down Syndrome New South Wales, a charity they've been involved with for the past 3 years now. And Ben from Down Syndrome New South Wales ran out with the team, took them to the goal square and gave them the almighty rev up. They're ready to go, the Swannies.
Yeah, that was good sights, wasn't it? The southern end here at the SCG. So good crowd building, Luffy. Your tip as we get set for this one?
As I said, I think it's going to be another close battle, but I just think the Swans, the form that they've been in, yes, they have won, but it's the way they're winning. They're just attacking the game. They're just taking it on. And I think the same's going to happen tonight. And I think it might be a detriment in the end of the Bombers having too many talls in the side.
All right, for Choice Hotels around the grounds, if you've missed any action this weekend, it was the Saints over Collingwood Thursday night. Collingwood start this season in defence of their premiership zip and 3. 15 points the margin there. And the Cats too good for Adelaide. 19 points the final margin. Earlier today, Freo got it done eventually over North Melbourne. 26 points at game's end. And earlier from the MCG, Melbourne thumped Hawthorn. 55 points the final margin there. I'd quickly drop down to you, Justin Edwards, for Bob Jane T-Marts. The toss.
Dane Rampy won the toss. The Swans will be kicking to the Randwick end of the SCG.
You're a good man. You can stream every game on Triple M Footy Live on the Listener app. Download it now on LISTNR. Here's Brenton Speed on Triple M Footy.
And Draper straight into the middle. He'll be the ruckman for Essendon first up. Goldstein takes a back seat early on. He's up against Brodie Grundy in the middle here. Draper, of course. Merritt goes to Warner. Heaney has Setterfield for company. And then Archie Perkins, who was a star in midfield last week for Essendon. He's up against Tom Papley.
Big one for Tommy McCartan. He's on the big 2-metre Peter down there at full forward.
In goal-kicking form last week, as was Jake Stringer, of course. Can the Bombers get it done in Sydney, or will the Swans keep on rolling here after their 2-0 start? Away we go. Saturday night footy. Good crowd building at the SCG. Perfect bounce as well. Neither ruckman decisive. Taken out of there by Merritt, who takes the Bombers inside forward. 50 chest mark taken 45 metres out as well. And Gresham will think about going back for the shot on a slight angle here.
Great start there by the Bombers. Just a nice hit down there from Draper, and the one kick straight to the forward line. I mean, that's what you want to see at training, is something like that. And they've brought it into the match.
The former Saint, who kicked a goal last week on debut for the Bombers after making that switch in the off-season. He's been around a long time now, good for a goal a game throughout his St Kilda career as well. He should kick from right around the arc here towards the M.A. Noble stand end, and strikes it beautifully. Drop punt, is bending back, and the Bombers have the opening goal of the game inside a minute here from Jay Gresham. 1 goal straight 6. To Sydney, no score on the Triple M Bunnings Trade scoreboard.
45 seconds in, 2 kicks for the match, and they've got a goal. That doesn't happen too often. And what I love about this crowd too is that there's a lot of Bomber supporters make the trip up to Sydney to come and watch their side play. A lot of the Melbourne teams do that, but the Bombers especially. And you know, great crowd lifter when you're getting a goal 45 seconds in.
Triple M Seabass Super special comments tonight. Troy Luff with us. Seabass Super, making hard work a payoff since 1984. So the Bombers away to a hot start. They got the job done last week over Hawthorn. 24 points the margin there, and they did score freely at times. So perfect night for footy in the Harbour City. We get set to do it again. The Bombers draw first blood. I notice Rampy's gone to Stringer as well. We'll bring the bounce back.
I like that match-up, Brad. Good. They're both same sort of size, stocky build.
Well, he's so often the barometer for Essendon, isn't he? Stringer gets going, and he tends to light him up. So the ball elevates again in the middle. Draper gets rid of Grundy, gives it to Merritt. Around the body, ball high up and under towards half forward. Caldwell waits underneath it and takes the mark, hugs it to his chest, gives it to Merritt. Merritt follows up, wants his left side, drive it to a hot spot. Dangerous spot. Cox, was he being held? I think he was. Was Cox being held? He was. He'll get a free kick. And he's only 15 out directly in front, northern end.
Not sure about that matchup, Caldwell or Blakey. There's 13 centimetres the difference in size, and that kick there, Blakey didn't use his height to try and get over the top and spoil it, and in the end it was an easy mark to call. Swans yet to touch the ball, and there's only been 6 disposals in this match so far, and they're going for the second goal.
Red Z Lending stats. Merritt has how many of those? At least 3.
2.
Red Z Lending, loans for the self-employed, REDZED.com. So Nick Cox with the footy. to get Essendon off to a flyer to the northern end. They got 2. We've played a minute and a half and Essendon have got 2. There's 2 straight 12. Sydney yet to score. Triple M Bunnings Trade scoreboard.
Oh, look, it's nothing to panic, obviously, for the Swans. It's just, this is a freak start. You're kicking 2 goals in the first 3 minutes of the game. And as I said, there's been now a total of 7 disposals in this game and a total of 5 kicks. So 5 kicks and 2 of those have been goals. It's not a bad start by the Bombers, but that's just the confidence it'll give the whole side.
Just fact-checking you early, Zach Merritt's had how many touches?
He's had 3 disposals.
Yeah, that'd be
3.
3.
Sorry,
he's had 2 centre clearances.
Sorry, yes, he's had 3 disposals out of the total of 7 disposals.
He's had 3 kicks and probably 2 goal assists. Now, Luffy.
So there's been 5 kicks for the match. He's had 3 of them.
Triple M Red Z Lending stats. Luffy off to a flyer there. Red Z Lending, loans for the self-employed. REDZED.com. So back in the middle, dream start for the Bombers. 2 goals inside 2 minutes. Draper's been on song. And umpire says he'll let that one go after a tardy bounce. Grundy tried to get the clearance going the Swans' way. Clever tap by McInerney, trying to get Lloyd involved, but Hind soccers it towards Papley. Now McInerney's on the outside, soccers it back towards Papley. The Swans get their first inside 50 in a scrappy fashion. Perkins takes it away. His kick smothered, breaks for Durham, and now the Bombers get it to centre. Big contest! Went right through Cunningham, and Harry is down for the count right now as the Swans fans let you know what they thought about that act from 2-metre Peter.
Yeah, he's still down to Cunningham. And he's right next to this free kick that's just been awarded to Rowbottom centre wing broadcast side. So umpire will just hold up play here for just a moment.
There's something also going on at centre half back.
Well, that's where Peter Wright is.
Yeah.
So, in saying that, Peter Wright did the right thing. He contested the football.
They've taken exception, so
it's on here.
Was it a good
half forward, a bit of push and shove?
Let him go. Well, that's all you're allowed to do nowadays, a bit of push and shove, but pretty much all but about 8 players are in this melee here at the moment. And because the play is not going to continue, the umpire can't throw the ball up to try and break it up.
Bob Jane team marks Justin Edwards.
Yeah, Physio's just made the call for the stretcher here. Harry Cunningham in quite a bad way, still yet to get up.
Stand by for the Triple M Harvey Norman replays. That will be fascinating viewing. The Swans have already been judge, jury and executioner. They've gone to Peter Wright. Didn't like the way he went about it.
Oh, no, that doesn't look good on the replay. He's hit Harry Cunningham high. Eyes off the footy.
The mistake that Wright made was he turned his body into a hip and shoulder and didn't actually put his fist up to contest the ball. It's pretty much he's just gone straight at Cunningham then.
On the blind side.
And this is going to be the result. And this will be a couple of weeks. The AFL have cracked down on this so much that he will probably miss at least 2 weeks because of this. Well, Brad says 4.
So a hold up in play here. If you've just joined us, just jumped in the chariot, Essendon got off to an absolute fly. With inside a minute, Gresham hit the scoreboard. And then it went back to the middle. They took it away again. Cox got on the end of it. He took a fine mark inside 40 metres and drilled it from directly in front. So the hold up on play here. Essendon 2 straight 12. Sydney yet to score, but we hope Harry Cunningham is going to be okay. We're just waiting for the stretcher to arrive to escort him off the field.
Speedy, you're mentioning Zach Merritt. I think last week started the season off well, 31 disposals. The last time he played here against the Swans, he only had 14 disposals, and that was probably on his mind coming into the game. He goes, I've got to make up for that, and he has done that already by getting the 3 disposals and a couple of goal assists for the Bombers. And at the moment, looking at the Red Zeds, there's 13 disposals for the Bombers. The Swans have only touched it 4 times.
What's this going to do for Sydney, Luffy?
Oh, look, I think it's going to do nothing but positive action from the Swans here. They've seen one of their teammates go down. They've obviously remonstrated with Peter Wright, and it will continue. You watch Peter Wright every time he goes near the ball. Even now, Nick Blakey is having a go at him.
Justin Edwards, Bob Jane team marks.
So Harry Cunningham was able to make it to his feet and is sitting on the stretcher. Doesn't need to be stretchered off lying down. Corey Warner already got the shirt off. Looks like the Swans will activate their sub straight away.
All right, so Rowbottom will get a free kick, but that will be looked at. We see Peter Wright in the road. Oh, yes. So he hasn't even put his hands up to mark the footy.
Yeah, maybe 4, Brad. I think you might be right. That is, there's no intent to spoil the ball. That is just a hip and shoulder straight to Cunningham, and it hit his shoulder collecting him at the top of the head. So
in the 80s, it's good footy.
Well, in the 80s, the commentators be going off about it, saying how good it was, but
it's
not
not
anymore,
the 80s.
Speedy. Not anymore.
It's unacceptable. So Peter Wright will be due for a holiday, and we just hope Harry Cunningham is going to be okay as he's escorted from the ground. It'll be a Sydney free kick, centre wing broadcast side. It's Essendon 12, Sydney yet to score. as the umpire just waits for Harry Cunningham to be escorted down the race. Good to see him walking. So a little hold up of about 5 minutes in play. So we're set for a long first term. Perfect night for footy in Sydney. Great crowd has pushed through the turnstiles, out of the pubs in Paddington and just wandered down the hill. So we await a restart now.
They're just waiting for the Medicab to make its way off the entire playing surface here at the Sydney Cricket Ground as well. Peter Wright is hearing the boos every time he's seen on the big screen. And for the listeners, Cunningham's camped under the footy. Peter Wright can see the ball, can see Cunningham, and he tucks the wing in and he makes head contact with that arm that he tucked in as well. That's why he's going to serve a stint, according to Brad Seymour and Troy Luff in the Triple M commentary box here. So sub-activated, Corey Warner now part of the 22 available for John Longmire, and a reshuffle required with no Cunningham out there, who was had the first goal kicked on him as well.
But he's also been in good form the last couple of weeks, averaging 18 touches a game for the first 2 games.
So the gate closes behind the goals at the southern end, and we await a restart. Ump will hand the ball over to James Rowbottom. So after that pause in play, Essendon should be very well structured behind the footy. So Rowbottom will drive it towards half forward. Western side of the ground. Amadi tries to get in good position. He's holding. I think it's going to Grundy, is it? It is.
Yeah, Draper wrapped his arms around Grundy way off the contest there.
So Grundy will take a free kick, and he's just inside 50. Not a noted goal kicker, so he'll look to set this one up, I think.
Get to register as a Swan.
Jake, go closer.
So Grundy with the footy. Well, he's taking his time. He's lining them up. 45-degree angle. He'll have to launch it from just outside the paint towards the Randwick end.
This will be a big roar if he kicks this. The emotional.
Brodie Grundy, 52 out. He sets it up. It won't make the distance. They'll fly. Can they get it through? They do. It's a minor score for Sydney. 9 minutes in first term. Sydney 1 behind. Bombers 2 straight 12.
They don't waste any time. They kick it into Heppel. His kick, a shocker though, straight into the man in McInerney, who locks it inside forward 50 for the Swans. So great intensity from McInerney.
Just watching Rampy on Stringer. Dane Rampy was happy to sit back on the wing and let Stringer push right up to his own half-back line, knowing that he's not real dangerous up there if he does get the ball.
Draper did well on the throw in at forward 50 for Sydney. Just hacks it into the middle of the ground. Players coming one way, other way. Goulden caught in a good tackle. Jai Caldwell got him. And we'll have a throw up right next door to the centre circles. The light breeze coming from the south, about 21 degrees tonight. Perfect conditions for footy. Draper again, influential out of the middle. Kicks it towards half forward. Blakey to rip it away. He wants to run and gun. Draws the man. The 1-2. Crosses the logo now. Comes in board with a handball. Misses the target. Durham to clean it up for Essendon.
And now chaining the handballs together, Caldwell puts the head down and lovely kick, lace out to Langford on the lead, who's thinking about going early because a man is unmarked in the goal square. It's Stringer, keeps his feet in the contest. Jake Stringer takes on 2 of them. Snap towards goal is smothered by the Swans, who've got plenty of numbers back. And now Florent towards the back pocket for McInerney, and they emerge unscathed there, the Swans. They trail by 11 points early.
Cool and composed.
Out of bounds.
As Florent went to come back inboard with a kick, but he stepped outside the boundary line, so he in turn took the footy over, and it'll come back inside forward 50 for Essendon, northern end, and we'll get a throw in.
I think having a look at the replay there, Nick Blakey just trying to do a little bit too much there, trying to be a little bit too cute.
So it's the Bombers by 11 points. Throw in, ball spins back into play, forward 50. Draper again influential. Comes to the back to Goulden, just hacks it out of there. Boundary line is his friend. Was there insufficient intent? Umpire pings him. Essendon free kick, 60 from home.
He was looking for his teammate, but he overkicked it by 5 metres. Miss McInerney bounced out of bounds.
Exactly. It was a shocking kick that came off the side of his boot, and they call that deliberate.
So Martin takes the free kick for the Bombers, pumps them back inside forward 50. Up they go, Peter Wright. It's spoiled off his hands. Ball to be won about 30 from home for the Bombers here. Swans get some numbers back. It's hard work for them though, as Campbell flicks it to Blake. He doesn't waste any time this time. Sets it up to a one-on-one contest. Heppel brought it to ground level. Chance for the Bombers again. Perkins has his kick smothered. Heaney to try and take it away.
Come on, Swans! Jeez, they're looking a bit rusty right now.
Off the hands of Stringer, and the Swans emerge through Campbell, who sold a bit of candy on the way out.
And he slices through the back of the square, does Braden Campbell, and changes the angle. He gets it to Warner. Warner can run. Driving ball half forward. Logan McDonald marks. Forward 50. He can get the journey. He stops and he props and he goes wider still to Goulden. And Goulden marks. He'll square the footy even further for a better angle. And taking the mark is Haywood, and he'll settle and have a shot from 40 out directly in front Randwick end.
Just how hard Errol Goulden works. He was in the half-back line when there was a scrimmage there. He saw his teammates had won the ball. He just sprinted forward all the way deep inside the forward 50. I'll tell you what, the Swans' desperation there in their defensive half was fantastic.
So Haywood with the responsibility now. Can he get Sydney's first goal? To the southern end, he fires, he loves it. Goal umpire does not move. And Sydney draw one back. They're 1-1-7. The Bombers are 2 straight 12. Triple M Bunnings scoreboard. Score a Bunnings e-gift card, Luffy, when you spend $250 or more at Makita, in-store or online. Ends this Sunday. T's and C's apply.
So you're going back into the Essendon Bombers forward line. The 1%ers by all the Swans there, the smothers, the chasers, the harassing, just chopping of an arm when they were trying to get the ball. Essendon were in prime position to get another score on the board there, but the Swans didn't allow it. As soon as they got possession, they all just sprinted forward, and there was such an open forward line. They had so many options to give to, and that's how the Swans have started this season. They're just backing each other and just taking off as soon as they get the ball.
For Bob Jane, T-Marts, Justin Edwards.
Corey Warner now officially injected into the game. He's come onto the ground for the first time and into the forward 50.
So 3 straight now for Will Haywood the last couple of weeks. 2 straight last week against Collingwood, and now it's back in the middle, row bottom. Set upon immediately, and we'll get a secondary stoppage in the middle. What about the understanding of Goulden to go backwards to Haywood on a better angle, because he knows Haywood was a better chance with the right boot than Goulden's left from that angle a moment ago.
Goulden's better from further distance too, Speedy.
He hacks a kick out of here, Goulden, only as far as McGrath, who pumps it back to Blakey, tidies up, goes via hands to Florin, who's been busy in the last couple of minutes. Kick only 5 metres, not paid the mark to Campbell, but he's able to steady and find a teammate who has his kick spoiled from behind by Dersma. Bombers tidy up. Lovely punch handball from Caldwell. Back to Dersma. And now Gresham does the team thing. It was touched off the boot. Langford has to improvise. Oh, boy, did he improvise. What a finish. A little check side from the boundary line. And the Bombers have 3 straight. 18 to lead by 11. 1-1-7 the Swans here.
Hang on, Speedy. They're reviewing it.
On the Triple M Bunnings trade scoreboard, I reckon it's a goal.
This is what people complained about last week. There was so many times the umpires reviewed obvious decisions didn't need to be reviewed, and this is just another one. His foot's nowhere near the ball. He's calling it. It could be touched. It's a goal.
So it goes through the big sticks. This is the only query.
No, it was that it might have touched Dane Rampy's foot as he kicked the ball.
Yeah, you're watching the Triple M Harvey Norman replay. The listeners are wondering whether it went through the big sticks.
Oh, sorry, it went through the sticks, that's for sure.
Okay. So we're waiting for the score review here at the Sydney Cricket Ground to see if the Bombers have their third. Save up to 23% on Samsung 2023 TVs. Hurry only while stocks last. In store and online now at Harvey Norman. They can hear the call. It will be a goal, an overrule of the on-field call. It's 3 straight and a lovely finish from Langford.
No, it was. And the Essendon players did exactly what the Swans did their goal before. As soon as they maintained possession, they just all sprinted forward. And I don't know how Langford got so much space 20 metres out from goal. There was no one anywhere near him because Dane Rampy's man had also pushed up. So obviously the Bombers just working hard back into their forward line.
13 minutes first term. Triple M Red Z lending stats. Red Z lending loans for the self-employed. REDZED.com.
Corbell and Merritt 4 apiece. Gresham, Martin, Draper, Cox 3 for the Bombers. Blakey has 4 for the Swans. Lloyd, Goulden and Campbell 3 for
Honestly, I don't know about that. It looked like it hit the Swans defender's foot. And then I'm like, oh, they've called it a behind, but then they've overturned it. Oh, he's probably just moved his foot. Like, you can't see it, but, yeah, that's what he's done. Anyway, halfway through the first quarter, Bombers by 11 points at the SCG. Look through the player stats. Joel Amati done nothing. Nick Blakey 4 disposals. Essendon Jar Cardwell 4 disposals. Braden Campbell, 3 disposals. Who's had the most disposals? Zach Merritt, 4 disposals from the Essendon Football Club. Who's had the most kicks? Handballs. Drake Lewis had 3 handballs. Todd Goldstein has had 3 hit-outs. Clearances, Sam Draper's won 3 clearances, so Essendon have won more clearances than Sydney. So yep, that's the stats. I'll look at the stats more at halftime. Here's the team stats. Essendon have had more disposals, Essendon more kicks, Essendon more handballs, Essendon more inside 50s. Essendon have had more disposal efficiency, Sydney have had more efficiency inside 50. Free kicks going Essendon's way, stoppages, hit-outs, Essendon are winning, clearances, Essendon winning centre clearances, and Essendon winning stoppage clearances, Essendon winning contested disposals, possessions, Essendon winning uncontested possessions, Essendon turnovers, winning turnovers. Sydney have had the ball the most in the game. In the last 10 minutes, Essendon just had most of the ball. Sydney have taken more marks. Marks inside 50s equal. Contested marks is Essendon scoring. Sydney 1 goals and 3 goals behind. Sydney 1 point. And Essendon have been in front the whole game in the first quarter. Essendon have had more tackles, 6 to 8. Essendon have had more tackles inside the 50. General bounce interchanges made. Essendon made more interchanges. 1%ers stuff. Bounces, only 1 bounce in the whole game. Essendon have taken, Sydney have taken more bounces. I'll probably get back to you at halftime or when this quarter finishes. Anyway, let's watch the game.
So Martin comes up, it's a handball, just goes with a little low ball, and Setterfield has it now. Setterfield called to play on centre wing, drives it towards half forward. Blakey goes back with courage. McInerney there with McCartan, and he'll see it out of play on forward 50 for the Bombers. They lead it 3 straight 18 to Sydney 117, 20 gone first term.
Draper's causing some concerns for the Swans. He's doing a lot of ruck work and also getting some ball around the ground.
So tossed in, McLean in the ruck here against Goldstein, who got front position for the Bombers. Stringer a chance to tidy up, slick hands to Zardes, kicks to the hot spot, great body work. Melican got rid of Langford, and a relieving mark taken by the Swans, who trail by 11 points, approaching the midpoint of the first term here. The Bombers with 3 straight, the Swans with 1-1. The kick to centre wing, a ripper to Patley, it came from Haywood, and now they can steady here, the Swans, trying to eat into that 11-point deficit. Interesting to watch Peter Wright go to the interchange bench, put the headset on and get a chat from his coach from upstairs to get his head back in the game here. Kick towards Amadi. Heaney tried to hack it inside forward 50, has to go via the hands in the end. Taken without it, Haywood, free kick to the Swans.
So Haywood with the footy, 55 from home. Called to play on now, goes with a low ball. Stringer in a great spots. He'll cut it off in front of McLean. And Stringer in the goals last week with 4, goes wide to Hine. So no Redmond for the Bombers, but Nick Hine can run. He's got plenty of dash. He goes back into the middle. Speculative ball. McGrath got it front and square. McInerney should win this one with Gresham. He doesn't. Dersma lends a hand to Langford. Langford round the body for his second. He's kicked it. Langford's got 2. Essendon have got 4. And they are on fire early at the SCG. They're 4 straight 24. Sydney are 117. And that happening on the Triple M Bunnings Trade scoreboard.
See, the Bombers are doing it well here with an extra man in defence. If you watch where Draper starts at the ball up, as soon as the ball goes up, he runs straight into the Swans forward line. So he was in that last contest when Amadi went up for the mark and just spoiled it forward and gave the runners a chance to run on. And their forward line is so open because they've taken one player out. The Swans haven't adjusted to use their spare in the same way that Essendon are doing it.
Triple M C-Bus super special comments from Troy Luff. Isn't it a pleasure to watch a bloke who knows where the goals are? Wasn't always a forward, was he, Kyle Langford? He's kicked 5 straight now so far this season. And look across his career as well. 133 goals, 67 behind.
Well, his start of his career was in and out of the side because they didn't actually know where to play him. And since he's moved to the forward line, he's been great.
Grundy rolls out of the middle. affects the clearance, puts it on the chest of a Bomber though. Mark dropped by Heppel, socket out at D50 by the Bombers, but it's coming back. McInerney's hands, and now pumped back in there deep. Great kick to the advantage of McLean. He dropped the mark he should have taken. Cox did well against the odds. He's still got to go to work and try and find Mackay. It might have been taken high by McLean. Swans still have it inside forward 50. They're scrapping for it. Breaks for Campbell, sets it up right in the middle for Heaney to go to work. Tries to work a little 1-2 with James Jordan. Back to Heaney now. Left foot snap towards goal, towards Wicks. Bombers have the numbers, and they're out through Heppel's kick that finds Hind on the chest.
Yeah, it was a terrific kick too. Called to play on. It must have been touched off Heppel's boots. And it put Nicky Hind under the pump. And Braden Campbell got him in a good tackle. We'll have a ball up. 30 out from the Swans' goal. They started at a frantic pace, this one. The Bombers 4 straight 24. Sydney 1-1-7. Ball elevates, 30 from home. They'll clear from Zartas. High ball back into towards centre half-back. Sydney with the numbers coming through heavily. Jordan. James Jordan's caught in a good tackle. We'll have a ball up half full.
I'm just watching Hayden McLean's body language. He knows he should have taken that mark. Speedy called it correct. It should have been a simple shot for goal.
So now the Bombers affect another clearance. How are they going on those Reds' heads? Luffy in a moment as the kick goes towards Melican. Tries to sock it to his own advantage and keep it in. He did it beautifully. Runs away from Draper. Got a good shepherd from Florent too. And the kick is a beauty onto the chest of McDonald, who marks 70 from home. Right in front of our commentary position for Triple M. Hope you're enjoying the Saturday night action from the SCG. Swans trail by 17 points as McDonald sets it up. 4-on-2 here in favour of the Bombers. The Swan nearly won out. Heppel did well. Spun through traffic, found Perkins via hands, but it's coming back again. Kick only as far as Matt Roberts.
Yeah, Matty Roberts has it. So he's about 65 from home. Wants that left side. It's usually a beautiful kick of the footy, and this is no exception. Rams it onto the chest of Haywood. And Haywood marks 30 out right on the boundary line Randwick end.
Well, look how congested the Swans forward line is. 18 Essendon players are sitting inside the Swans forward 50, and the clearance is Speedy 10-3 Essendon's way.
Yeah, it's felt like that.
So Draper, good to see him back for Bombers supporters as Haywood goes round the body. Beautiful looking kick. Does it bend enough? Does it bend enough? Yes, it does. So Haywood gets Sydney's second against the Tide. They draw it back to 11 points, 2-1-13. The Bombers are 4 straight 24, and that happening on the Triple M Bunnings Trade scoreboard.
Let's have a look at a couple of Triple M Red Zeds. Nick Blakey, he's had 6 disposals for the Swans. Campbell's been really good running off the half-back. He's taken the game on. He's had 5, 4 to Lloyd, Chad Warner and Goulden. And for the Bombers, McGrath's had 7, Sardis has had 5, as has Heppel, and Merritt also has 5.
Choice Hotels around the grounds in the earlier game before this. The D's smashed the Hawks 14-9-83 to 5-8-38, but injury concerns to May and Lever, their key cogs down back. There'll be updates on Triple M throughout the next few days about that. What about Haywood's celebration there on the Triple M Harvey Norman replay, Luffy? He loved it.
Oh, absolutely. When he kicks it like that, who wouldn't love it? I like seeing when Tom Papley kicks him like that. He's got triple the celebration.
And now Essendon, yet another clearance dominating that stat. Cox off half-back, received from Merritt, goes back to Perkins. Now Setterfield, quick hands to Draper, who's been enormous in the middle for the Bombers. Tumbles a kick inside forward 50. Langford trying to show his forward craft again. But the Swans might just sort it out here. Good tackle laid. It's alive though for Caldwell. Left foot snap towards goal, won't reach its required distance, so McCartan able to rush it through for a minor score. The first for the Bombers in that category. They lead 4-1-25 to 2-1-13. The Swans on the Triple M Bunnings Trade scoreboard.
So dominated early play, the Bombers. Sydney starting to settle now. Rampy gallops away. Speculative kick towards centre wing. Heppel will mop it up. Not his best handball. It invites the Heaney pressure. Comes back towards halfback. Florent will pick it up. Errant kick. And straight onto the chest of Setterfield. So Essendon a chance to go forward again. Setterfield with the footy. Centre wing outer side of the ground. He'll chip it wide. He's got Hobbs making good position, and Hobbs will take the mark. 60 from home. It's been very patient, Essendon, as they've worked their way forward. They go into the pocket for Draper. He can't mark. Grundy, well, that's out on the full. So a wide kick, and Grundy will take the free kick in the back pocket for the Swans.
It's been pretty even, Speedy, other than the first probably 2 minutes of the game. Very even across the board, both stats and score.
Risky kick out of there. McInerney trying to make it work. Got the better of Hobbs. Went back to Rampy via hands. His kick just dribbles out of D50 just. Tidied up by Gresham. Kicks to the hot spot. Up they go. Good punch by Melican. Socket about 40 on the fly. Onto the chest from Heaney to Patley. That gets the crowd involved. He sees a teammate one out inside forward 50. What a kick to the advantage of McDonald, who marks 30 from home. Will go back and take the set shot. Great teamwork, the Sydney Swans.
Just the advantage of getting the ball going quickly, and the Heaney kick, well, that's getting it going pretty quick. It didn't even touch the ground. He just booted into the middle of the ground, and fortunately for Papley, took a nice mark, and it gave Logan McDonald so much time, so much space. There was no one inside the forward 50, and it was a well-weighted kick just over the top of the Bomber defender.
The Swans score 58% of the time when they target Logan McDonald inside forward 50. Is a real presence. He's going to kick here from 35 outs. Goal umpire has to work a little too much. Minor score, 5-3 now for the season for Logan. 2-2-14 the Swans, trail by 11 here. The Bombers are 4-1-25.
So Martin shares it with Merritt as they adventure to the outer side. Hobbs can't take the mark. He follows up well. Papley, good tackle. Rips him to the ground. Play on's the call. Warner tries to feed it out. Invites Wicks to the footy. Wicks, he leaves it behind. Heaney's involved. Comes back to Wicks, to Corey Warner. Left side, flying shot at goal. Corey Warner misses near side. Minor score, back to 10 points. Triple M Bunnings Trade scoreboard. Score a Bunnings e-gift card when you spend $2.50 or more on Makita or in-store or online. Ends this Sunday. T's and C's apply.
Kick in well worked by Heppel, and then Durham goes down the line. Right here's the booze again. He broke even against Blakey. Ball spills out of bounds. And the boundary umpire will toss it in here with the Bombers leading by 10 points. Still 5 minutes of game time remaining here in the first quarter. It's a long opening term, 29 minutes played after that lengthy stoppage for Harry Cunningham to exit via the stretcher. Swans effect the clearance. Heaney sets it up about 30 from home here. Up goes the big man McLean. Hayward stayed down. Support came from Laverty. Martin's soccer kick, a risky one. Florent tidied up. He might have been caught, but it's play on now. Hayward found by Wicks. They go outside D50, and the kick, a shocker from Lloyd. Jordan trying to make it work. The Bombers crash in. Good work in the contest by McGrath. Corey Warner's looking lively, but he couldn't win that time. Merritt found Gresham, and the Bombers away through Caldwell. Spears a dart right onto the chest of his teammate Langford on centre wing.
Already got a couple as Langford. So Langford being held up now. Centre wing outer side, eastern side of the ground, attacking the northern end, the Bombers. He goes with a long ball towards half forward. No one can mark. McCartan did the body work, brought the ball to ground. Is that holding the footy? I think it is. Grundy, great tackle on rights. And Grundy will be awarded the free kick in the back pocket. Just goes with a lateral handball. He wants Blakey, and Blakey kicks a low little grass cutter to Goulden. So they'll attack the western side now.
Had a lot of faith in his good mate Chad Warner to make up the ground and beat Durham in a foot race. Warner goes back inboard now. On the edge of the square to McInerney, a little chip over the top to Heaney, and he kept on running Goulden. He's a powerhouse, isn't he? Errol, left foot dart. Oh, what a kick! Errol Goulden picks out McLean about 15 from home. He's a gem. Errol Goulden, one of the best players in the comp. A Brownlow fancy in 2024.
Absolutely, Speedy. Just his work rate is, you just can't believe it. You've just got to watch him, put a tracker on him to see how far he goes, how fast he moves. He goes from one contest to the next, gets involved, and when he gets the ball, his left foot is deadly.
So he found McLean, who's pretty much going at a goal a game throughout his 56-game AFL career. Only a slight angle here from point-blank range. Drop punt on the way, and drills it. Swans fans like it. And they're back within one straight kick now. 3-3-21. They trail by 4 points. The Bombers 4-1-25 on the Triple M Bunnings Trade scoreboard.
So look, Errol Goulden's now had 6 disposals, and it's interesting that with what Peter Wright did, that it also, that might lift the Swans, but at the same time, it's brought his game down a little bit. He actually hasn't had a kick yet, Peter Wright. He's had the 3 handballs, so he'll be waiting for the quarter time to get in there, get his oranges at quarter time, reassess and start again.
Bob Jane too much. Justin Edwards.
Jai Menzies just gone down to the Essendon rooms, had a long conversation with the Essendon doctor, was complaining of a right shoulder issue, gone down to the rooms. No movement yet for the sub, so it looks like he's gone down for a painkilling injection, I'd say.
All right, 4-1 Essendon, 3-3 Sydney. So we settled nicely into this one now. Some slick ball movement for the Swans.
They've had a few marks, the Swans too, Brad, over the top.
For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy. His bounce to be recalled. That's the 4th time in this first quarter.
You a fan of the bounce, Snapper? Time to bin it.
Jump to the ball.
Speak now or forever hold your peace.
Draper hits it forward. Heaney snout over the footy. Warner can win it for Sydney. Slick little handball. It's going to come back. So it wasn't. It's going to Heaney now. So Heaney, this little low dart to Warner. This happening right next door to the centre circles. Heaney will chase by growing kick. And it falls short of its target, and Mackay will take the mark at half-back for Essendon.
Gee, his kick only just far enough to be paid the mark. It was generous, otherwise the Bombers would have been under the pump. And now they switch it up to Heppel. How many red Zs for Dyson Heppel? Luffy seems to have had a few down back as he went to Perkins, and now Hyde, risky kick, right into the centre circles. Another big contest. It breaks the Swans' way. Socket out in front of McDonald by Patley, who wants it back via hands, but McDonald straightens up, saw a better option in the pocket. Free kick has to go to Amati. Over the shoulder, in the back, take your pick. He's got a set shot from 40 out coming up.
8 possessions to Heppel, and Amati probably better position here for him. He sometimes when he gets a little bit nervous when he's actually directly in front, so a better kick. And mentioned before, the tolls, when you've got McLean, when you've got McDonald and Amati in there, it makes it really tough.
Oh, he's coming around the corner, Luffy, from 45 metres out. This is, it'll take something special, but he knew what he was capable of. Joel Amati gives the Swans the lead with an around-the-corner bender from 45 out late in the first term. 4-3-27 to 4-1-25 on the Triple M Bunnings trade scoreboard. That's a beauty. It's an Amati party all of a sudden.
You know what he did there, Speedy? He didn't take his time. He didn't have time to think about it. He just went back and went, you know what, I do this at training all the time, before training, after training. Took a couple of steps and bang. And it was so casual. He knew where it was going.
So Sydney with the last 3 goals of the game. Troy Luff with us this evening. Triple M's Seabus Super Special Comments. Seabus Super making hard work pay off since 1984.
His Heaney's continued his form, Snapper. He's had 10 disposals on the Red Zeds.
What about the work of your man, Matty Roberts, with a big punch in the middle of the SCG just then to get it going the Swans' way again?
Number 34.
He's doing well, Matty Roberts. His 3rd year, I think, now with Sydney. Just finding his place at halfback. So for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy.
Holding, Perkins.
Holding, and this will go to Archie Perkins in the middle.
Stop, Archie's kick.
So against Rowbottom, he's not happy with that. The umpire's got to put him around over his mark. He'll kick it now. So Perkins with a driving ball towards half forward. Grundy's pushed back to bring it to ground. Durham leaves it behind. Matty Roberts is in there with Grundy. Spits out. And Lloyd will clear for Sydney. Hacks the ball towards centre wing. Hind involved. Amati right there with him and pushes him out of play. And the ball rolls over the line. Centre wing outer and we'll wait to throw in.
Just a Red Z for you, Speedy. You were asking about it before. At the moment, the hit-outs, it's 10-3 Essendon's favour. 12-5 the clearance in Essendon's favour. And they've scored 2 goals from those clearances.
So thrown in front of the Bill O'Reilly stand. Draper's ruck work to 2 Swans. In the end, Patley worked it out with his teammate. He missed the boat, though, with Florent back inboard. So the Bombers able to tidy up. Durham with a hack kick inside. Forward 50. Great work by Warner going back with the flight. Courageous stuff from the Swans. Oh, McInerney turned the corner and he heard the whistle. Though he ran into a roadblock, but he knew it was Swans footy back inside D50. Free kick going to Rampy.
I think he was a bit smarter there. He went to take off and he realised there were 3 Bombers standing next to him.
Rampy to Warner. So a long first term inside the final minute. So Warner from halfback, called to play on now. Broadcast side of the ground. Drives it towards centre wing. McLean should elevate. Couldn't take the mark. Wicks is caught high. Mackay just got him around the neck in that tackle and Wicks will take the free kick.
30 seconds left.
He wants to go lateral. He does to that man, Matty Roberts, who wants his left side. Drives that left slipper through the footy. And Namati comes through. Can't take the mark. Heaney picks up the scraps. Minor score, Sydney. Margin 3 points on the Triple M Bunnings trade scoreboard.
He had that, Amati. Speedy.
Yeah, dropped the chest mark.
Bounced off his chest.
Red Zeds for Isaac Heaney, the number 1 player in the comp last 2 weeks, as the ball spills across the boundary line here.
11.
11 stats, 11 touches for Isaac Heaney. The siren is about to sound here. It's been a wonderful seesawing opening quarter. Swans lead by 3 points, and we may as well not toss this one in. Sound the siren after 37 minutes since the opening bounce here. And this will be the end of the first quarter. And the biggest talking point will be the big hit by Peter Wright on Harry Cunningham, who was subbed out of the game in the opening 5 minutes. But it's the Swans, 4-4-28, leading the Bombers 4-1-25 by 3 points for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M rocks footy.
That quarter for Bunnings Trade. Score a Bunnings e-gift card when you spend $250 or more on Makita in-store or online. Ends this Sunday. T's and C's apply.
For McDonald's,
Triple M rocks footy.
Macca's new surprise fries. Peel any medium or large fries for a chance to find a prize. 3.5 minutes until
Triple M rocks footy.
minutes until
Triple M rocks footy.
Two and a half minutes until
Triple M rocks footy.
minutes until
Triple M rocks footy.
Seconds until
Triple M rocks footy.
minute until
Triple M rocks footy.
Seconds until
Triple M rocks footy.
Shut up! The footy's on Triple M!
Triple M rocks footy.
This quarter for Titanium Caravans. Stay off-road and off-grid for longer with a luxurious titanium caravan. Visit titaniumcaravans.com.au.
Quarter time at a sparkling SCG, and what a match this is shaping up to be. Sydney 4-4-28. They lead Essendon 4-1-25, a 3-point margin after a 37-minute first term. Justin Edwards is standing by thanks to Bob Jane T-Marts.
So Harry Cunningham returned to the Swans bench later in that first quarter. He looks to be in good spirits and was getting involved at the quarter-time huddle, so that's some good news there for him. He's also sporting an ice pack on his quad, so along with the obvious concussion concerns for that incident, perhaps copped a corky as well for Essendon. Jai Menzies, who went down to the rooms late in that first quarter, he's returned, got some new strapping on that left shoulder, and he looks to be right to continue for the Bombers in the second quarter.
Justin, there's a sing-along happening. Has Shannon Knoll been binned? Is he one and done, is he?
No Shannon Knoll this week. I did say in opening round that the Swans fans preferred this Neil Diamond backing track to Shannon Knoll, and I think looking around the Swans fans, they're enjoying having it back. I think Knowlesy was perhaps the wrong demographic, but I enjoyed Knowlesy.
As extensive as ever, our man Justin Edwards, boundary side. Bob Jane T-Marts have great buy 3, get 1 free, plus instant cashback deals. Call or shop online today. T's and C's applies. Here's Luffy with all the red Zs.
Isaac Heaney continuing on the last couple of weeks. He's had 11 disposals. Blakey, Lloyd, Warner, Papley. He's had 7 apiece. Goulden, Grundy, 6 for the Bombers. Martin, Heppel and Merritt have 8. McGrath, Perkins, 7 and 6 apiece. But some big stats. The Swans, 1%ers, as I mentioned, the pressure they've put on the Bombers, their kicking efficiency is only 58%, and that's only led to 17 marks in a quarter of footy. Swans, on the other hand, 69% kicking efficiency. That's led to 29 marks, so they're just using the ball a lot better, the Swans.
There will be 1,000 replays of Peter Wright charging through the back of Harry Cunningham in the early stages of this game. How many weeks now?
Yeah, well, just to refresh our listeners or those that have just tuned in, the first 5 minutes of the game, the ball was coming in. Cunningham had the front spot going for a mark. Peter Wright has come from behind. He's tucked his shoulder in. He did not attempt to spoil the ball, and he has collected Cunningham, hitting his head, I believe, probably 3 to 4 weeks the way the AFL are nowadays, Speedy.
Triple M Seabus Super special comments from Troy Love. Seabus Super making hard work pay off since 1984. Opening bout, second term, Brad Seymour.
For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy, Draper and Grundy both holding each other. But Draper will get the free kick. He's had a big say in this match thus far. Drives it towards half forward. Blakey gets a fist to it up high, came third man up in the grass. Jordan gives it to Campbell. So Sydney, and they had looked to advance to the western side. Ball spills to the ground. Setterfield to mop it up to Mackay. Laverty's involved also. They go back to Merritt. He's been prolific early. And Dyson Heppel just acts as the outlet on the way out.
Good kick as well. Found the big man in Draper, and he was hit from behind, and it was 50 against Errol Goulden. That's the call. He's trying to get a 100-metre penalty here, Draper, as he dropped it back into Goulden, but just 50 for now, and that takes him all the way inside, attacking 50. Pretty late hit, and he wasn't going for the footy, Goulden. I like it from the umpire.
Yeah, but looking at it, he'd already jumped before the ball got to Draper's hands, and then Goulden actually backed off. He didn't try and collect him or anything. It was just a really soft touch in the back. That's a soft 50-metre, and that's a big 50-metre. Have a look where he's taken him.
Triple M Seabus Super special comments. He'll get out with the tape measure later on. Troy Luff, as Draper was given maybe 60 metres here.
At least.
He'll kick from about 50, the big man. He can give it a wallop as well. Good-looking drop. Party's rifled it through. That's how you make the most of a 50-metre penalty. And the celebration going, a bit of double copper action, the big man. And Sam Draper puts the Bombers back on top. 5-1-31 to 4-4-28 for Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard. And there's a bit going on again. The players come together here, Luffy.
Having a look at half-forward line, bit of push and shove. Peter Wright's in there again, as we can see. Oh, who was that? There's a free kick against the Swans, I bet. Yep. I think it was Isaac Heaney.
There'll be a reversal in a minute because it's on here.
Was it Isaac Heaney that just threw him to the ground right in front of the umpire?
Goulden standing the mark.
Well, the umpire's holding the ball. I'm not sure why the umpire's holding the ball.
He's got to wait for the ad break to finish.
What he's waiting for.
They're in an ad break. Stand by.
Bob Jane T-Marts, Justin Edwards.
It looked like Grundy was the man that threw the Essendon player to the ground there. So Grundy giving away the free kick.
So Essendon by 3 points. This is set to explode. This one, he goes in low. No one can take the mark. Ball at the back. Coming through was Melican. Melican holds it up. Feeds out a handball towards McLean. Gresham meets him the other way. Durham comes through to Cox. Cox, the shot at goal. And misses near side. Minus score Essendon. They lead by 4 points. Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard. It's been a bit happening all night between these two.
Yeah, watching the Triple M Harvey Norman replay, it was well picked up by Justin Edwards. Grundy just dragged Setterfield to ground. That's what led to the free kick. And they couldn't take full advantage. The Bombers kick towards centre wing here, off hands, tidied up by Heppel. Wants to go backwards here to his captain in Merritt. He set him up for Rowbottom to apply a good tackle. Ball spills across the boundary line, and it will be thrown in here.
Good pressure there from Rowbottom. That's what the Swans have to keep doing. They've done it the last 3 weeks. Their pressure acts, their tackling, smothers, spoils has got them where they are so far.
Essendon 5-2, Sydney 4-4. Early exchanges, second term. Throw in. Centre wing, western side, disputed ball. Martin down low, feeds it out to Durham. Oh, look at the sideways. Lateral movement was beautiful. Little chipping ball towards half forward. Caldwell got it front and square. Braden Campbell puts his snout over it. Gresham got him high. And Campbell will take the free kick at half-back for the Swans broadcast side.
He did that so well, Cam, because you've got to make sure you don't go in and get the below-the-knee free kick. So he's picked the ball up, rolled his body, and drew around the shoulder. Good courage there from Campbell.
Yeah, there have been some really good contests in the last few minutes. Campbell takes that free kick, keeps it low, right onto the chest. Some beautiful ball users the Sydney Swans possess. Found Papley, wheels and goes to a one-on-one. Oh, up goes Heaney early. Couldn't stick the mark though. Tidied up by the Bombers, who take it out via Cox, the 2-metre tall wingman. His kick only as far as Warner. Tidied up by Martin just inside the boundary line. Durham's doing some classy things. Handball back inboard to Perkins. Keeps it going for Gresham. And he kicks it back out towards the wing. Found Caldwell in a little bit of space. He pokes it down the line. You'll hear the boos. You know who it is. Peter Wright after the big hit on Cunningham in the early stages of this game. His team leads by 4 points. The Bombers over the Swans here. Wright goes back inboard to Gresham. The former Saint goes to a 1-on-4. Good luck, Kyle Langford. The Swans win out with all those numbers. Lloyd to Campbell, and now James Jordan straightens up. Nice distribution to Papley.
Yeah, they attack the corridor from Papley. Chad Warner, fleet foot, and goes it to Wicks. Wicks wants Heaney out the back. Driving ball, Isaac Heaney. Take a bow, Sam Wicks, as he turns and charges for the interchange gate.
My man, Sammy Wicks.
Beautifully delivered onto the chest of Isaac Heaney, 25 out directly in front, Paddington end.
And the marks that the Swans have had inside their forward 50, 4 of them have been over the top of the Bombers players because they've moved it so quick, it hasn't allowed the Bombers players to get in and set up their defence work. Well done, good mark, Isaac Heaney.
So his first look at the goals, been in stellar form early in the season, Isaac Heaney. Lime green boots, makes no mistake. Sydney back in front. Seesawing match at the SCG. They're 5-4-34. The Bombers 5-2-32. Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
So last week we saw the Swans take 19 marks inside their forward 50. That was the 6th mark they've had inside their forward 50. So they're on course to get the same again. And it's just because the pure speed that they move the ball, and the forwards are just reacting a little bit quicker than the defenders, and that's always going to happen. Now, a forward always will run towards goal a lot quicker than a defender, and we've seen McDonald take a mark, Amadi take a mark, and now Heaney take marks, McLean take marks, all over the top of the Bombers defenders.
He kicked a match-sealing goal against the Bombers on his AFL debut, round 1, 2015. What a career he's compiled since then, Isaac Heaney. A goal kicker again here tonight, his 4th of the season. 180 games in, and he's back in the middle. No bench for Isaac Heaney after kicking a goal. It's back in the middle trying to go to work as Grundy tapped it his way, but Setterfield read that tap. Now lays the tackle on Rowbottom, who may have given away a free kick on Draper. Heaney does affect the clearance. Lovely over the top handball to McInerney, and Roberts on the boot in a hurry. Free kick coming back to the Swans. No advantage, really. It was a bit helter-skelter. Free kick going to McInerney.
McInerney was pushed after he disposed of the ball.
Starting to get busy, Justin McInerney. Possesses extreme running power, does the Sydney wingman. So McInerney held up now. Sydney lead it by 2 points. He'll drive it to a dangerous position in front of goal. The pack flies. Haywood stays down. Bending ball. Hine gets back and thumps it through. A minor score for Sydney. They lead it by 3 points. Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard. Stay off-road and off-grid for longer with luxurious titanium caravans.
Thought it was going to be a tight one, boys, and it's definitely looking like that.
That was the early call. Triple M Seabus Super Special comments from Troy Luff predicted a close game, as it has been between the Bombers and the Swans more often than not in recent years.
It's been very free-flowing. The ball's just going from one end of the ground to the other.
They come to centre wing here. Langford in front. Spoil over the top from Rampy. Underground handball from Merritt to Hobbs. It allowed Roberts to lay an immediate tackle, and the umpire says, give it to me, right around the logo in front of our commentary position here. Hope you're enjoying the coverage on Triple M. It's the Swans by 3 points here.
So Grundy wins this one out of the ruck, just hacks it towards half forward. A little spillage, and Corey Warner picks it up, jams it on his left shoe towards Amadi. Laverty gets back. Mackay's there also. Oh, errant little handball. Invites Papley to get involved. Comes back to Amadi. He wants the handball. Great tackle. Holding the ball, it'll come back. Essendon free kick in the back pocket.
I think Papley's option would have been to actually kick it up in the air and put it into that dangerous spot.
Advantage of having umpires everywhere, able to adjudicate on that one correctly. The umpire was loitering in the forward pocket with intent, so the Bombers take that free kick, thump back the other way by Rampy. Good spoil as well. Almost broke for Hayward. Now it spills towards Setterfield, and the Bombers now have it on half-back flank. Hobbs able to turn and wheel and go and find Sardis with a nice little chipping kick outside of D50, and he marks on the half-back flank for the Bombers. Waits for teammates to storm down the SCG, kicks to a Swan. Oh, big hit again. Draper on Lloyd. It took the mark in front, so the big men throwing their weight around. 50 has been paid here. Umpires want to get things rolling, but there have been some big flashpoints at the SCG in this contest. Lloyd plays on, finds a teammate unmarked inside forward 50 as the Bombers switched off. They left Papley all alone.
Yeah, Melican and Rampy went straight after Draper.
A little bit too easy, that one, Speedy. As you said, the Bombers switched off, so Lloyd was just, as he was moving up the ground, he was looking to see who was going to lead first, and Papley had all the space in the world to run into, just for a little chip over the top.
2 goals, 2 so far this season for Papley. He'll kick from just inside 50 on a 45-degree angle. Stand by for the celebration if Papley can drill it. He snuck it home, the little plumber, and it's a pretty subdued celebration. But the Swans fans love it. Their team leads by 9 points on the Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
Now, you only get the big pump up when it's on the run, Speedy. The set shots, he's already calmed down. When it's on the run, that's when he kisses the bicep and gives the crowd high fives. It was really good work there. Firstly from Lloyd to get in front of the pack, take the mark and cop the hit. And while all the Bombers started to remonstrate, Lloyd just said, oh, well, I'll just mosey on up the ground and find some space to kick into. And Papley will eat. Papley's coming off after he kicks the goal, so maybe it's just an Isaac Heaney rule, Speedy. He's the only one that doesn't come off after kicking a goal.
What's going on with all these late hits tonight from the Bombers?
Well, there's been an intent from the opening bounce from Essendon to make a physical statement, I think.
You think the coach has put something on the whiteboard?
No doubt. No doubt. And it's worked for them. You know, they're level pegging with a side that's been red hot in the last 2 weeks. So,
and that one from Draper, he had no intent on getting the ball there. It was only to get Lloyd.
Well, Sydney 41, Essendon 32 for McDonald's and Rim Hot Water. Triple M Rocks footy. The free kick, was that high on Durham? I think it was. It's difficult for Errol Goulden to reach up there, but he did. So Durham, driving ball. Is it a good opening to this one? Peter Wright can't take the mark. Ball comes to the back. Menzies shoots a little handball to a speculative position. Goldstein has to bend down at his shoelaces, and that's not an easy task for the big man. They pile in on top, Roberts and Rowbottom, and we'll get a bounce. 30 out from the Essendon goal, Randwick end.
Did well to tackle him legally as Grundy goes to work in the ruck contest for the Swans. Roberts' kick was immediately smothered. Jordan's handball picked off by Gresham. The goal sneak, kick towards goal, and rushed through by Lloyd for a minor score.
Oh, no!
Oh, deliberate.
He's paid that deliberate.
There was no one in the vicinity of Lloyd who could have grabbed the footy, I suppose, and tried to wheel out of D50. Instead, he just rushed it through. How'd it look to you on the Triple M Harvey Norman replay?
Well, he did deliberately hit it through the points. There's no doubt about that, Speedy, but geez.
So that's why the rule came in then?
That's tough.
Jai Menzies, the beneficiary, comes around the corner and misses. And the Swans fans say the ball don't lie. A minor score that would have been if they just stuck with what Lloyd did. 5-3-33 the Bombers. They trail by 8 points. 6-5-41 the Swans I like the call.
So Florent will gallop away.
Outside 5.
He chooses the eastern side and jams it onto the chest of Roberts.
Move it on.
Matty Roberts
Play on.
has really found a home at half-back for the Swans in 2024. Drives it towards centre wing. Logan McDonald can't mark. Heppel will mop up at the back. Gives it to Hobbs. He's set upon and a good tackle. Pressure's been immense from both sides. Goulden and Wicks, they're hunting the man. Hind to escape. Little left shoe round the body. Ball is good. And Laverty's got a chance to escape out of side.
Oh, nice work by Martin. Sold some candy over the top to Goldstein. He wants to go via hands as well. Weaved a little bit of magic to go back to Martin. They keep going via hands here, the Bombers. Someone has to kick it. Gresham does. Across his body around the corner. Stringer heard footsteps, I reckon. Rampy was coming, and it spoiled across the boundary line.
The old turtle came out there, Speedy. Jake Stringer on the Red Zeds. 2 kicks and 1 handball today. No score.
So we await the ball to spin back into play. Seesawing affair at the SCG. Grundy at the back. Essendon deep in attack. Spills to the back. Hobbs a flying shot. Going to miss near side. They'll just draw the margin back to 7 points. Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard. A home side with their noses in front. So Lloyd to bring it back in. Chips it straight up the middle, not his best effort, but Rowbottom makes it look all right. Not 15's the call. Chad Warner gallops clear, look at him go. Lateral movement, drives it towards half forward. A chance if it sits here. It doesn't for Haywood. Zartis does some good work. Braden Campbell makes it look even better. Menzies to put the pressure on him. Campbell stays in the contest, pushes it inside forward 50. Nick Hind comes, Martin comes, Heppel comes. The cavalry arrive and Caldwell should escape.
And kicks. He was dumped by Grundy after the kick. Langford, played on out of bounds. How does that work? Swans fans up in arms, but Langford finds a teammate. There's a goal coming up to Gresham, and now the inquest into how that was allowed to unfold. Langford appeared to mark it, maybe out of bounds. Then he played on, certainly out of bounds, ran past the Swan, found Stringer all alone inside forward 50, and the Swans fans aren't at all happy. It's a 1-point ball game here.
Now we're going to have to look at the Harvey Norman replay for this one, because we saw McInerney do it earlier where he took the mark, played on outside the boundary. The umpire called it and said out of bounds. Firstly, that kick looked like it was marked outside the boundary to start with.
Best view, Bob Jane teammates, Justin Edwards.
Andy McGrath just receiving some treatment on the Essendon bench. He had the boot off with some treatment on his ankle, got the boot on back on now, and he's going to be right to return. I had a perfect view of that one that you're just hearing the Swans crowd remonstrate. That was miles out of bounds on the full.
Yeah, you think in 2024, as professionals, that sort of stuff doesn't happen.
That was a metre.
Just then. So Gresham gets the goal, and we have a margin of 1 point for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M Rocks footy. Things heating up here in Sydney.
That was a metre outside the boundary. And not to mention, as you said, Speedy, he played on while he was still outside the boundary.
Extraordinary.
So ball elevates in the middle again. Goldstein v McLean. Heaney, slick little handball to Florence. They go backwards to go forwards to half forward. McInerney v Hind. The speedsters, McInerney down low, just pushes it in the path. Was that in the back?
Yep.
I think it was. It'll come back. McInerney free kick.
Sydney free kick. Pushing the back, Sydney.
Yeah, umpire called up Sartis, but we have 2 things that will be replayed more than anything else on the magazine shows throughout next week. We have the big hit by Peter Wright, and then an extraordinary goal to the Bombers that should never have stood. Should have been Sydney ball on centre wing. Instead, a mark to Langford was paid. Then he played on out of bounds and helped provide a goal in the end for Gresham. So McInerney plays on here. A shocking kick off the boot. Might just work out, though. Playing in front, Papley dropped the mark. Durham tidies up. He's having a good game. Red Zeds, please. As Stringer lowers the eyes and tries to find Menzies, but it broke for Blakey, who goes to Roberts. And now Lloyd in space.
10
Able
for
to
Durham.
dance around one. Red Z lending stats thanks to Troy Luff as Melican now straightens up for the Swans, goes right through the middle of the SCG. Warner, slick hands to Florent. They like it in his hands. Handball to 2 teammates, did them no favours though, as the Bombers tidy up now and can go the other way in a hurry here.
Gresham has merit, and now Nick Martin, look at him dash through the middle of the ground, invites the heat. Has to give it up via handball, and Lloyd stands in the way. Goes back the other way to McInerney. Sydney on the charge now. McInerney crosses the centre circles, delivers to Heaney. Heaney to Warner. Warner chips it back to Heaney. Not 5K. Play on back to Warner. Warner with the outside of the boot, misses near side. Luffy shakes his head. Sydney by 2 points. Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
Just a little bit of trying to do too much, from too many handballs in the centre of the ground to trying to hit, targets that are very hard to hit.
Gee, the handball from Heaney was delightful to give Warner a chance, though. Now to a one-on-one contest on centre wing again. Goldstein against McLean. Florent helping up, tidying up out the back, but Hobbs beat him in the end and maybe got in the back. Instead, they let it roll. Handball to Warner. Under pressure from two Bombers. Dersma won it back for the Bombers. Slick hands again. Durham puts it out in front of Gresham. He had time to tidy up and go back to Archie Perkins. Shape for a handball. Instead comes back onto his right boot and finds a good target. Peter Wright just outside the arc. He could kick it from here on a slight angle. He could kick it from another 10 metres further out.
It's only his second mark tonight, Peter Wright. He's only had the one kick and a few handballs.
Chance to put the Bombers back in front. 2 metre Peter. They trail by 2 points right now. He is the boo boy here at the SCG tonight after what he did to Harry Cunningham in the opening minutes. He'll kick from 55. Drop punt. Looks picture perfect off the boot. Peter Wright hits the scoreboard and has the Bombers on top. 7-4-46 to 6-6-42 on the Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
The difference what the Bombers did there to what the Swans were doing is Swans were just overusing the ball. Too many handballs in the centre of the ground. A couple of them just trying to be too cute, just do the basic. As soon as the Bombers got it, they just went forward with a couple of handballs and they opened up the space. There was so much space in their forward line. Melican, he started running towards the goal square, thinking that's where the kick was going to go, and Peter Wright just stayed out there on his own, and in the end, an easy uncontested mark and a beautiful kick from outside 50.
Stay off-road and off-grid for longer with the luxurious Titanium Caravan, but I suggest Peter Wright doesn't come to Sydney with that caravan.
No, he might head south, not north. I don't think he'd be well received in the SCG. But he kicked it beautifully from 55 on that occasion. So gets his first for the evening and gets the visitors in front by 4 points for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M Rocks Saturday night footy. Merritt tries to escape. Leaves the footy behind. Heaney does not. Scoops a little handball in the path of Laverty. He leaves it behind two. Spills to James Jordan. High ball towards full forward. They all fly. No one stays down. Comes to the back. McInerney, can he get his boot to it? I'm not sure if he did, or did he?
Oh,
yes, he did. McInerney went off the ground.
I'm not sure it's his goal.
No, I think it's a Marty.
You think
it's
a Marty's?
I think it's a Marty's.
Well, either or, Sydney get the goal, and they're back in front by 2 points. Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
Yeah, they've given it to a Marty here on the stats sheet, the Red Z lending stats. And I think
2 centimetres out,
yeah,
maybe.
I think if you have a look at the Harvey Norman replay, I think a Marty was actually trying to get out of the way of the ball as it was bouncing, and it's actually hit him on the boot. So he ends up getting a goal out of it. Look, they had to work hard for that goal, the Swans, and they haven't kicked a goal for quite a while. They've had to force it in under pressure from the Bombers, and eventually they scrapped the goal. As we have a look now on the Triple M Harvey Norman replay screen, he did kick it.
Oh, it's a scorpion kick,
he
isn't it?
Stole it on Marty.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't steal it, Luffy, because it was touched. It wouldn't have stood for McInerney.
It was touched.
So he needed to do the scorpion kick a la Riley McGree.
There you go.
For the Newcastle Jets a few years ago, if you catch him on drift, or Olivier Giroud for Arsenal. He's done a scorpion kick goal. I'm not sure it's ever been seen before in the AFL snapper.
Goldstein v Grundy for McDonald's and Rim Hot Water. Triple M Rocks footy. Sydney to escape out of the middle. It's in good hands too. Warner has it. Drives it towards half forward. Good defensive work from Cox. He settles and chips it towards centre wing. And it's a good mark taken by Jai Caldwell. Right in front of the interchange gates.
So Cox is a little bit too tall and a little bit mobile at the moment for Haywood.
And so he drills a little low ball to Merritt. He's been productive. What are his Red Zeds, Luffy?
Up to 14 disposals for Merritt.
So Merritt, and it ends in the hands of Zartis. He drives it towards full forward. And Goldstein, that was a poor defensive effort from Blakey and the like. And Goldstein takes the mark 12 metres out directly in front.
You're not the only one that thought that snapper. Look at the Harvey Norman screen. John Longmire just absolutely was tearing shreds off Nick Blakey there. He was trying to make body contact He was trying to get in the space. In the end, he touched nobody, and it was an uncontested mark to Goldstein.
Well, this was one of the talking points going into this match. They went in with 2 ruckmen. Goldstein makes no mistake. Essendon back in front. Seesawing match at the SCG. They lead it by 4 points on the Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
He's having a look now. That's the 6th lead change it already had. And look, I mean, you've got a guy like Goldstein who he doesn't need to jump to take a mark because he's so tall, 203 centimetres. And Nick Blakey, he just didn't play that very smartly. You need to get off his man a little bit, run and jump into Goldstein to spoil. But in the end, he was trying to find a body and there was nobody around him, and Goldstein just stood his ground. It was an easy mark.
That's his first goal as a Bomber, and he got the treatment as well. There's not much left on top, and it got a real rough up from many a teammate inside forward 50 after kicking his first goal for Essendon, 158th of his career, just his second game as a Bomber. And a fist pump from Goldie. Now back in the middle, Draper against Grundy, ready to go at it once more. 6 minutes of game time remaining in an absorbing first half on Triple M footy. Up they go. Ball breaks towards Heaney. Didn't get that far. Setterfield prevented it getting there and now affects the clearance. Goes to Merritt. He's up and under. Taken on the chest by Jordan. Showed courage going back with the flight. Took a nice mark to relieve things for the Swans, who trail by 4 points in their home patch here.
So James Jordan with the footy. Settled nicely in the Harbour City as he chips it wide. Not his best effort. He wanted that one back, I think, James. He wanted Corey Warner. And the ball ends up out of play in front of the Bill O'Reilly stand. So 52 plays, 48, Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
It's just a nothing kick there in the end. He's tried to kick it to someone 15 metres away from him towards the boundary, and instead of just kicking it long down the line and get a contest out of your area.
4 goals to Essendon, 3 to Sydney in this term as Setterfield just goes with a high ball. Roberts will come over with a defensive fist. Merritt has been outstanding this first half, I should say. Roberts, a little deft tap to Rampy. They want to go through the middle against Sydney. Comes to Logan McDonald. He gallops clear, drives it towards Hayden McLean. He can't take the mark. Laverty can. Stands tall, stands strong. And he just pops one over to Cox, and he marks in the back pocket.
McLean was trying to milk a free kick in front on contact, Luffy.
No, that was terrible from McLean, and great mark by Laverty.
Shocking kick out of there by the Bombers. Oh, big spoil. Was it the legal one? He went right through the back of a Swan here. Patley's back up quicker than the man who affected the spoil. As we look at the Triple M Harvey Norman replay, it was Laverty crashing through on Patley, and it's no free kick, Luffy.
How's that not a free kick? He's actually, his arm went around Papley's neck and dragged him to the ground.
Old-fashioned ear massage on the way through as well as the Bombers extracted again. Nice work to Setterfield in the end, who received via Hobbs, and now Goldstein the target on centre wing. Blakey broke even, he thought, but Caldwell was there for the Bombers. Goes to Langford along the ground. Little kick around the corner to a 50-50. Lloyd favoured by the bouncing ball against Gresham, and the ball eventually escorted across the boundary line by McInerney.
Have a quick look at some red Zeds. Heaney 17, Lloyd 13 disposal, 11 to Chad Warner and Papley, 15 each to Martin Merritt. Setterfield's had 14, Gresham has had 13.
Essendon by 4 points. As they throw it back in, forward 50 for the Bombers. Coming through was Caldwell, jams it on the boot, gets it to full forward, and they'll run it through for a minor score. Essendon out to 5 points on the Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard. They've had every answer. As Sydney have piled on 3 late ones in the first term, but Essendon have repelled every time. So they go up the middle now, the Swans. Heaney has it, true centre half back as they try to advance to the outer side, and Florent has it now on the centre wing.
Lovely kick back to Goulden, who kept running again, finds a target again. Errol Goulden putting on a clinic. Disposal efficiency on the red Zeds, please, for Errol. Troy Luff, get you onto that one, because he's been going at 90% with 50 disposals in the first 2 weeks, Errol Goulden. He's found Papley here for the set shot from around 50 out.
75%. Errol Goulden.
He's dipped. That's harsh by the champion data folks to have him down at 75%.
Well, he actually hasn't touched it as much as he normally has. He's only had the 8 disposals, Speedy.
Set shot from Papley. Set shot from 50 to give the Swans the lead. He's hooked it across the face, minus score, 7-7-49. They trail the Bombers 8-5-53 on the Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
Essendon have dominated possessions 90-62 in this second term.
McGrath goes straight up the middle to Merritt, and he in turn does the same thing. Setterfield had to wait underneath it. They've turned it over. Goulden to Roberts, a little chipping ball towards Papley again. So Papley's got it, 60 from home. Wants to move and wants to move quickly. No, he stands still now. Called to play on. Blakey comes up from behind, drives that left slipper straight into the footy, and it's wide. It'll be a minor score for the Swans. So Essendon by 3 points on Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
Just a nothing kick from Blakey there. He wasn't really having a shot. He just bombed it up in the air and ended up going through the behinds.
Should have a shot next time because he got a good purpose on it, didn't he? As the Bombers work the little 1-2, McGrath to Laverty. McGrath's second kick, a shocker. They put Cox under the pump. He ducked into the contact from Weeks. Good umpiring. No free kick. We get a boundary throw in right in front of that little Dally Messenger stand at the SCG.
The Setterfields had 10 disposals in this second quarter for the Bombers.
So 3 points to the visitors as we approach half-time. Comes to Dersma at the front, spills to Papley, rides the tackle, wants to get rid of the ball. Now he does via hands, comes to Perkins. Perkins a slick little give. Setterfield involved again. High ball towards half forward. Langford waits underneath it. Blakey to mop it up. He's got great lateral movement, has Nick Blakey. And he finds Goulden on centre wing, outer side of the ground. Goulden takes 2 steps.
What about that?
Jams it onto the chest of Papley. And Papley marks 45 out directly in front, Paddington end.
You know what's so good about Errol Goulden? It's not just his skill, it's his decision-making. He literally had half a second to decide, where am I going to kick this? He had a few options, and he's just drilled it to Papley between 2 Essendon players, and Papley has not had to move.
Yeah, looked pretty good on the Harvey Norman replay too, Luffy. Saved up to 23% on Samsung 2023 TVs. Hurry, only while stocks last. In-store and online, now at Harvey Norman. So Papley a chance, bread and butter stuff. 45 out directly in front. He's got it. Sydney back in front. Lead change number 6 for the quarter. And Sydney lead it by 3 points. Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
Yep, 6 for the quarter, 8 for the game now already. And like, the praises are going to come for Errol Goulden over the years. His work rate at training and when he plays is just non-stop. Players just don't work that hard as what he does. He'll be in a contest speed in the back pocket, and all of a sudden he'll be in the forward pocket getting the next ball. He just doesn't stop. And if he doesn't get 30 possessions, it doesn't worry him because he knows he's working hard.
He did the interview in the Footy Record. Did you see it? They said, what do you do on your day off? He said, I don't take a day off. I think he's telling white lies there because he plays plenty of golf down at the Coast Golf Club all week.
Probably runs between holes though, Speedy.
He's in the golf cart. He's saving those legs for game day, and what a beautiful left boot he possesses. Triple M Seabus Super. Special comments from Troy Love. Seabus Super making hard work pay off since 1984. Been around a long time now. Seabus Super as Perkins and Merritt. Nice hands from Martin off half-back, and now Setterfield, another touch in this turn. Sends them inside forward 50. Blakey's been going for a lot of spoils. That time he was being held onto, was he?
No, it was actually Wright was holding McCartan.
Yep, takes the free kick. There's Tommy. Big brother Paddy, no longer in the AFL, forced to retire in the off-season, goes to Goulden. It's a good option, as we've been telling you. This time the kick was partially smothered. Still found a teammate, though, in McInerney, who gave it off to Rampy, and the Swans will be able to launch again here. With a minute remaining in the second term, Campbell's kick looks like a beauty on the chest. They've got some handy left footers, don't they, the Swans?
Oh, Braden Campbell, he has got a deadly left foot, that one. And again, there wasn't a lot of room for error there, and he just saw McLean leading out. Put it out in front of him. The forwards love it if you just put it out in front of him. It doesn't have to be a bullet pass. Gives him a chance to either stall a little bit or speed up a little bit. It was a beautiful pass from Campbell.
So Hayden McLean has taken the chest mark after that beautiful kick from Campbell. He kicked one late in the first term to trim the margin, and now looking to extend the Swans' slender lead that stands at 3 points right now. Kicks from just inside 50. Drop punt is hooking off the boot. Minor score, 8-9-57. They lead by 4 over the Bombers, 8-5-53.
It's just one of the issues with a couple of the Swans forward is they kick too many behinds. Their goal-kicking accuracy just isn't up where it should be.
So Martin to bring it back in for Essendon. What a first half it's been. It's had a bit of everything. He drives it towards broadcast side. And plenty of fists come up and through the footy. Ball out of play in front of the old members stand. Sparkling night for footy in Sydney. If you've just joined us.
Okay, so stats now. Second quarter's nearly over. Player stats, who's had the most disposals? Isaac Heaney for Sydney has had 19 disposals. Zach Merritt's had 17 disposals. Will Setterfield's had 16 disposals. Nick Martin's had 17. Will Setterfield's had 16. Tom Pupley's had 15. Jake Lloyd has had 14. Jade Gresham's 13. All this. Errol Gordon 11. Brody Grundy 9. That's pretty good. Kicks. Tom Papley 10 kicks. Tom Papley 2 goals. Behinds. Corey Warner's kicked 2 behinds. Brody Grundy's had the most hit outs with 11. Tackles. James Rowbottom. Lizard. Marks. Tom Papley. Handballs. Isaac Heaney. Essendon winning here. Sydney winning here. Essendon have had more handballs. Sydney have won the inside 50. Disposal efficiency. Essendon have had more disposal efficiency. Efficiency inside 50. Swans. Free kicks. Swans. Hit-outs. Essendon. Clearances. Essendon and Boo smashing that. Centre clearances. Essendon and Essendon smashing the stoppage clearances. Contested possessions. Essendon winning that. Essendon winning uncontested possessions. Turnovers is 35 to 41. This match, Sydney have had more possession. Last 10 minutes, Essendon have had more possession. Marks 57 to 37. Sydney winning that. Marks inside 50 is 10 to 4. Contested marks is 2 to 4. Essendon winning that. Scoring 8 goals each. Sydney a little more inaccurate than Essendon. Time in front. That's not updated, but Essendon have had more time in front. Tackles, Sydney winning them. Tackles inside 50. Essendon winning them. General bounces, Swans. Only 5 bounces this whole game so far. 1% is 30 to 17, and Sydney Swans favour. Interchanges made is Sydney have made 1 more. And it's now half time. So at half time, Sydney are leading by 5 points, 4 points. 4 points with 2 more quarters to go. Who do you think gets up from here? See ya.
90 seconds until
Triple M rocks footy.
One minute until
Triple M rocks footy.
.30 seconds until
Triple M rocks footy.
Oh, can I show this? I honestly... I don't know, because I probably can't show any footage. Oh, no, it's not. It's a live stream, so no, I can't. But batch preview, this isn't it. Team stats. Who's playing and where? Talk about other games. Who's illness? Jake Kelly illness. Alan Davey Jr. for Essendon. They don't have an emergency. Hang on, do I not get disconnected now? Damn. Hayden McLean, yeah. Umpires. Here's a good one. Alright.
Martin and Merritt 17 for the Field 16 and 13 for Gresham. What I love, it's a great
Opening round was the Swads beating the Melbourne Demons by 22 points. Brisbane losing to Carlton by 1 point. Carlton win by 1 point.
What the Swans have done to their advantage, I mentioned it during
the Suns,
a lot of their marks inside their forward 50 over the top because they're moving it so fast.
They're a strong side. Like they're a good team. Yeah, in opening round they beat the shitty Tigers by 39 points. GWS bet the hangover team, who will not win a game for another 5 matches, or I don't know, by 32 points. Round 1, Carlton bet Richmond by 5 points at the MCG. Sydney somehow bet Collingwood at the MCG by 33 points. Essendon bet Hawthorn by 24 at the MCG. GWS bet North Melbourne by 39 points. Collingwood ain't trash because Geelong Cats versus St Kilda with the Geelong won by 8. Gold Coast, this was a very close game. I feel like Adelaide were robbed. Adelaide won by 6 points. Melbourne won by 45 points against the Bulldogs. Port Adelaide won by 50 points against West Coast, and Fremantle won by 23 against Brisbane at Optus Stadium. Stop spamming, please. No, stop. Alright. Round 2. Now I need to show you something. Because I can't just say Collingwood lost 3 times in a row. When in reality they did. But
we saw the ball coming out here in the interchange wing. Harry Cunningham going for a mark, eyes only on the ball, and Draper, he curled up the body, the hip and shoulder.
Peter Wright.
Peter Wright. Sorry, Draper was the second one.
Right, look at this. Where's the free kick count? Free kicks 30-16 in St Kilda's favour. I don't know, it's different, but that's 14 more free kicks. Alright. So that's umpire's fault, maybe definitely 1 goal there. Billy Frampton pushed someone in the goal square, that's 2 goals, that gets it back down to 3 points. And the out of bounds goal, which was definitely out of bounds, was out of bounds, so we could have won that game. And Ginnivan's not in our team anymore, so, high tackles, don't know. We smashed in the hit-outs, we lost the clearances, somehow.
So far it's been working well. And it's, as I said, it's a great game. It's a tight game. It's a great game to watch.
Well, we don't get everything right all the time, Luffy, and you are prone to make the odd mistake from time to time. But the halftime segment for Amy Clangers. Clangers happen. Lucky you're with Amy. Was the ball in or out?
He was dumped by Grundy after the kick. Langford.
Oh yeah, there's a game tonight that was definitely out of bounds. Yeah, it was definitely out of bounds. Collingwood's mistake for the push in the back and the umpire's fault. 1 goal, definitely, maybe 2 goals. Yeah, 15 points was definitely going to be under, Spud's game, of course. Alright, we need to get back before halftime comes back. Quick. Adelaide bet Geelong by 19 points. I got that tip wrong. Fremantle bet North Melbourne by 26 points, but North Melbourne were up by 20 points at some stage. This was a shocking game. Melbourne by 55 points. This game, I think Essendon now will win by 1 point, to be honest. This game, Suns will win by, where's it at? Mars Stadium. Oof, this is an iffy game. I need to look at something before I predict this. I've tipped the Suns, but what's this? Where are they playing at Mars? Who is this at? Gold Coast. This is at the
Dockers wound up winning by 26 points in the end.
What?
Caleb Sarong, 35 touches after 40 plus last week. And then in the earlier game before
Roy Lobbs
this one,
out.
the D's smashed the Hawks by 55 points, but injuries to May and Lever a concern. Whatever your reason for travelling, you'll get the lowest price.
Yeah, Suns will win this one by 45 points, I reckon. That is my tip right there. Honestly, I can't change but City, but Essendon by 1 point. Gold Coast by 45 points. Port Adelaide by 5 points. GWS by 154 points. Okay, now I need to go back to the 2023 AFL season because Collingwood are trash. Well, we aren't trash because just remember this game. This game, we could have kicked way more goals and we still won that game. We're fitter than last year. We aren't executing our game plans properly.
When they kept on switching it around, they weren't able to get that final kick that was going to launch their score chain inside forward 50. So it was hard for us, but we're fit and we're able to weather their...
You can say that if you want. You're not getting mod now because you got to give me a huge... Because you were begging for mod. I could have just gave it to you. It wasn't going to happen anytime soon, just saying. Where's the free kick count? I think we won the free kick. They won the free kick count. Which I can say that we could have... Well, they gave away free kicks, so that's their fault. But still, damn, we could have won it by more. Yeah, saying that, like we just dominated through here. Dominated, pretty much. We were pretty good. It's our backline that was good that game. Yeah, we're not that same team. We are that same team, but we're not. How much did Dacos get that game? Nick Dacos, 29. Our goal. I haven't forgot Wikipedia grand final. No, I just Henning finals had what am I? Gold Coast. Gold Coast have won. When did they win? Like they've won 3, haven't they? I think they've won 3 grand finals. I think the Suns premierships. No, they haven't won any. I thought they've won 3 in GWS, but they've won. Have they ever been in a grand final before? Have the mighty Gold Coast has been okay. No, it was GWS. Oh yeah, but mate, VFL doesn't matter, and you realise they haven't even made the finals, and you're the only one that hasn't made the finals in the AFL, because GWS, they've made the finals, and they've had 12 seasons. Fremantle, they've made the finals, but you have never made the finals. And if I met you last year, I'm pretty sure you would have said they made the finals. Fucking shit. So
we felt like that was probably us a couple of years ago as well. So we revisited that, and we're definitely trying to get back to that. And Jack Billings,
the best grand final? No, most successful, I guess.
in a position where we have a lot of cavalry as well. So we got Bailey Laurie, Kate Chandler, Cosy Pickett, Alex Nilbull, and Tom Sparrow. A lot of guys go through that high half forward role.
Yeah, Carlton, Collingwood and Essendon. Carlton have had more experience. Sorry, Collingwood have had more experience. Press conference. Can I write this? Excuse me. This is why you need big crowds. Because when the person blows a whistle, the umpire blows a whistle. Okay? The umpire blows a whistle. They kick it. And Collingwood chant advantage. See, that's not the umpire's fault. It's the crowd. The crowd can make as fucking much noise as they want. So just wear hearing aids. Not that hard. Thank you. I was wanting to be what I want.
Book an appointment with an audiology professional at specsavers.com.au/hearing. T's and C's apply.
For Ream Hot Water and McDonald's.
Triple M Rocks Footy.
3.5 minutes until Triple M ranks footy.
I'm mewing. I can't believe it.
Triple M rocks footy.
See, 13. His random streams having 1,000 subscribers as a 12-year-old. Wow. I am not monetized. And I wouldn't swear when I am monetized, would I?
Triple M rocks footy.
YouTube does not have anything against strong language, but if you use it too early in a video, it could affect monetization. Yeah, it could affect monetization on that video. Which fucking isn't close at all. I'm just so annoyed that...
2 minutes until
Triple M rocks footy.
Oh, well... I'm really tired. So yeah, who hasn't played a final in the AFL? If it's only Gold Coast.
90 seconds until
Triple M rocks footy.
Yeah, so Gold Coast haven't played in a grand final, but the fact was there that that's just shit. You're trash. You're trash. No matter if you finish 9th, it's not gonna matter.
Triple M rocks footy.
Also, this wasn't that far. Ooh, what's that? Whoa, what's that? What's that? What the fuck is that? What is that? Are you telling me that they only won 9 games when Collingwood will at least win 10 games this year? Like, up here, 11th, you know. You won't spam. Gold Coast lost. Gold Coast lost. 0-2.
This quarter for
Gold Coast won. Good job. 0-2 to Gold Coast lost. 0-1. You're 0. You're 0-2. Well, you're not. Oh, damn. Didn't you lose that? Bombers on top. 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 This will happen. This right here. This will happen sometime this year. Oh, we're back on. Back on, guys. Back on. That was good. Alright.
So Amati, about 60, 65 from home. He sets this one up. They'll jump. It's Logan McDonald. Did he grab it? He did. Oh,
how?
Yeah, I'm not sure about the defensive effort on that particular occasion, but Logan McDonald's taken the mark. 30 out directly in front, Randwick end.
I'm just looking at Mackay there now. He's dirty with himself because he actually let that go through his hands, and just a little bit of body work from McDonald pushed Mackay underneath the ball. And well, there was a hand in there from Mackay, but it's still a mark. It's
I
still
think
a
Ben
mark.
Mackay would want that one back again. He's a big, strong boy, Ben Mackay. So Logan McDonald, a chance to get Sydney off to a flying start in the second term. 35 out, directly in front. Goal umpire does not move. They stand as one at the Randwick end and celebrates. That makes the Red and White Army reasonably impressed, and they lead it by 10 points. 9-9-63 the Swans. Essendon 8-5-53 Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
We have to wonder, Snapper, if during half-time John Longmire mentioned the clearances, the centre clearances around the ground clearances. It's been all Essendon. They worked really hard that one. Grundy got the hit out, got it down towards row bottom. The Swans got it out inside their forward 50, and in the end, a really good contested mark from Logan McDonald. And that's what the dominating factor has been for Essendon, is their clearances. They've had their hand on the ball first, 20 versus 10 for all clearances. So that's something the Swans need to work on, and it started well for them.
Logan McDonald, goals kicked so far tonight, Troy Love. Reds Head Lending stats.
2.
He's got the 2, back in the middle. Merritt trying to affect the clearance. Row bottom sweating on him, so that's an assignment as Grundy takes the Swans deep inside forward 50 with a tumbling footy. Laverty tried to palm it down towards either Heppel or McGrath. Heppel has to go again. So too does Wicks. Squeezed a little handball back to Grundy, who followed up. His handball flicked in the air. Sardis knocked it cleverly to Merritt. And the Bombers away here in front of the Bill O'Reilly stand through. Hobbs keeps his drop pump low down the line. Finds Langford about 90 from home for the Bombers. He squeezes a kick around the man on the mark. Beautiful lace out to Stringer. Marks 55 from home for the Bombers. If he winds up, he could give it a good run, I reckon. Teammates want him to kick it early because they've got one-on-one contest deep. Jake's taking his time, steps around the man on the mark, drop punt, a team lifter from Jakey. Stringer no, across the face for a minor score. 8-6-54, 9-9-63. The man on the mark had his pants pulled down, Luffy.
That was embarrassing from Nick Blakey. That was way too easy to allow Jake Stringer to run around him like that.
So Sydney by 9 as Florent chooses the eastern side to Rampy. And Rampy will mark just inside his defensive 50. 63 plays 54. Early exchanges second term. Rampy will drive it towards half forward. Draper at the back. Picks the footy up off the grass, just hacks the footy towards centre wing, falls in Langford's arms. He turns quickly. He's got Perkins running with him. Gives it to him now, a little low ball cut off by McInerney. McInerney wants the corridor, comes back towards McCartan. McCartan stands tall and drives it back out of defensive 50.
Oh, Grundy did well, almost held it long enough to get paid the mark, but dropped it in the end. So now Laverty has a chance on the logo. Handball over the top to Sardis, comes back inboard. Great vision from Sardis to find Perkins. Pushed as he kicked, still found the target though. Peter Wright clunked it about 30 from home, and here come the boos for 2 metre Peter.
You watch Melican there in that marking contest. He was too worried about what was coming from behind him. He kept looking around. Peter Wright, eyes for the ball only, a really good contested mark. And his last shot for goal, there were a lot of boos, but it went straight through the middle, and I feel he's going to do the same thing here.
Triple M Seabus Super Special comments and predictions from Troy Luff. Seabus Super making hard work pay off since 1984. Can he silence the Boo Boys here? Peter Wright trying to get the margin back within one straight kick. Ambles in, drop punt on the way, and he steered home another one. 9-6-60. The Bombers trail by 3 points now on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard. Beacon Trade has the backs of tradies now more than ever. Beacon Trade, let's make light work.
It is having such tall players in your forward line. You don't need superb passes. You don't need bullet passes. You just put it up like you used to do in the backyard speed. Just put it up. And, you know, 2 metre tall, whether you're Draper or whether you're Cox or whether you're Wright or Goldstein, it's a lot easier to mark when it's just sat on your head and the defenders have to worry about what's around them.
9-9-63 the home side, 9-6-60 Essendon. Troy Luff with us this evening. Triple M Seabus Super Special comment. Seabus Super making hard work pay off since 1984. So a quick one to the Swans, and Essendon with an answer. 3 points the diff for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M Rocks footy back in the middle. Rowbottom to take it away. Goes with a lateral handball. They've got it to half forward, but Essendon will win it. Zartis and Caldwell. Caldwell caught with a footy.
Good tackle, Haywood.
And we'll have a ball up in forward 50 for the Swans.
Sam, Brody.
Ball elevates. Goes wider still to Goulden, draws a crowd, comes back to Warner. Warner goes with a handball. Wasn't his best effort. Zartis went back in, well done. Warner holds him up in a good tackle. And the ball won't come out of there. They'll elevate the ball again. 55 out from the Swans' goal.
There's one Swan that needs to get his hand on the ball a little bit. It's James Rowbottom. He's only had the 3 disposals so far.
Merritt gets another clearance, but it's picked off by Goulden. Goes back to Blakey. Sweeping on the outside, the Lizard. Pumps it long. Top of the goal square. Up goes Amadi. And Mackay broke even that time. Brought it down. Handball to Hind and Caldwell. They chain the handballs together. Get out of D50. Over the top to Zartis. Pressure on his kick came from Florent. It created a turnover. Intercept mark taken by the Swans. Just forward of centre here. McCartan. Little chiseler to Errol Goulden. They like it in his hands. About 85 from home. Jordan wants it switched all the way across the face. Goulden now just pokes it into a tough spot. Almost found Heaney. Dersma broke even. Hobbs didn't see Jordan. Didn't know he was there. Played an immediate tackle, no prior. Umpire says give it to me and we'll ball it up. About 40 from home for the Swans.
So the home side by 3 points. Game in the balance. Essendon got off to a hot start. Papley coming through. Just dropped the footy. Wasn't penalised. Cox stands over it. He's caught in a good tackle. And we'll have a ball up, 40 out from the Swans goal. Randwick end.
Marks inside 50 again. Swans way, 11-5 in the game.
Ball in dispute. Heaney set upon, gang tackle. Draper's kick almost missed the shoe. And they have to get after it again at ground level here. Held in by the Swans, but poked out towards Papley. Improvised kick. Good vision towards Jordan, but Dersma got a good hand in for the Bombers. It broke for Martin. His handball out to Langford, trying to step around Melican. Did well enough. Got it to Setterfield on the outside. Kick down the line. Sticky hands again, this time from Stringer ahead of Rampy. And now they can just steady with the ball in Jake's hands.
Important mark too. Just gives them just a few seconds to breathe. So Stringer gallops away. Goes inboard and then chooses outside as he delivers to Peter Wright, who's got a couple. He'll turn quickly. The big boy drives it to the hot spot for the Bombers. The fists come driving through. McDonald leaves it behind. Clever by Durham. They go wider to Zartis. Zartis with the footy. 55 from home. He'll set it up to a dangerous spot again. Draper's marked it. Oh, Rampy came third man in. Couldn't complete the spoil, and Draper's taken a fine mark, 30 out directly in front.
Yeah, really good contested mark there. If you have a look at the Harvey Norman replay, he just worked so hard against Brodie Grundy, pushed past him, and then got so much distance between him and Rampy, it just fell in his lap. A really good contested mark.
Kicked the first goal of the second term. Big Sam Draper.
He's been good on his return game. For the Bombers.
Fans would be excited to see the big ruckman back in this team. So he'll launch from about 35 out. Distance will not be a problem. He just leans back on it a little bit. And it's an errant kick, margin back to 2 points. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard. Beacon Trade has the backs of tradies. Now more than ever, Beacon Trade, let's make light work.
Well, Draper's had 7 kicks tonight, and he's running at 29% kicking efficiency.
Here's Blakey, whose kick is accurate to Roberts. A couple of lefties combined for the Swans. They've got their fair share. He pokes it inboard to Rowbottom. Just outside the defensive 50 arc for the Swans. He now goes long down the line past the logo to 2 one-on-one contests. Grundy tried to bring it down, but the Bombers tidy up at ground level. Dersma found on the outside by Martin. Good kick to the advantage of a teammate. Now Rampy thought about going all Peter Wright, and he went soft on Stringer in the end. It took a mark, and Rampy avoided suspension by bailing out on the body spoil. And now the kick inside 50, picked off by Blakey. Slick hands by Heaney. Roberts missed the mark, though, missed Errol. So the Bombers turn it over inside, attacking 50. Stringer with another shot on the run. Goes out of bounds on the bounce, so they'll get the stoppage. Deep inside forward 50, still trailing by 2 here.
I don't know about you guys, but Nick Blakey just doesn't look on tonight. That was a simple mark that he's dropped. A couple of his possessions have gone amiss. He's handballed to the wrong people. He just doesn't look like he's on.
They're pressing here, the Bombers, attacking the Paddington end. Ball spins back into play. Heaney at the front, little handball to Florent. He has to go round the body with a high speculative ball. No one can mark it. Comes to the back. Heppel should be first there. A little handball to Goldstein. Oh, he goes to Laverty and they set upon him. McInerney goes off the ground. They've got it to centre wing. If it sits for Papley, it's dangerous. It does. Hine, great tackle. Great tackle, Nick Hine. And ball and all, and Papley over the boundary line. And it will have a throw in. Centre wing broadcast side. It's the Swans by 2 points.
Really good tackle, because if he got away there, Papley, it was a one-on-one inside forward 50 for the Swans.
Boundary line save. Papley could have easily been holding the ball. Durham affects another clearance for the Bombers. Just goes for a barrel on the run out in front of Tom McCartan. Able to tidy up for the Swans under no pressure, just inside the boundary line in front of the members, and chips a drop punt down the line to Jordan. Clever kick by Tom McCartan. Jordan dropped the mark he should have taken. He's escorted over the boundary line for another stoppage. Swans by 2 points here on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Sloppy from the home team. Sydney, Essendon a chance. They sniff an opening right here, right now. 2 points the diff. Comes to the front. Warner bursts away. Rowbottom, Goulden, they're all involved. Goulden to want to change the angle. He does. He kicks with a speculative one. Dersma did really well for Essendon. Ball in the grass. Florent has to bend down. Hobbs to chop it off. Speculative ball now goes wide. Oh, just riding the bump was Menzies. Has to release. This is a big one to win now. It's going to go the way of Corey Warner. Chad Warner. Goulden. 55 from home. Driving ball does Errol. Stop it. Oh, stop it. 55 out. Driving ball to the southern end. Errol Goulden. And Sydney stretched the margin to 8 points. 10-9-69, Essendon 9-7-61, Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
You called it right, Snapper, just how important that ball was just in the Swans' forward flank. One way or the other, whoever got it out first, in the end it was the Swans, just forced it forward. And Errol Goulden said it to you before, Speedy, he's better at having shots from a distance than rather directly out in front, and that shows you why.
A little bit of I told you so, was it?
I think so.
Yeah, I think so too.
Triple M, Harvey Norman replay, fascinating viewing. It was those two good mates, wasn't it? Warner with a no-look handball over the shoulder into stride for Errol to hit the ground running and then take that running shot from 55 and drive it through. Expertly called by Brad Seymour, the former Swan, alongside Troy Luff in the commentary box. My name's Brenton Speed. Back in the middle. Swans by 8 points midway through this third term. Improvised tap by McLean, picked off by Archie Perkins. Puts it into the forward pocket. Nice defensive intercept mark taken by Rampy, back with the flight.
Yeah, courage there from the Sydney stalwart. Went back with the flight, had eyes only for the footy. Hugged it to his chest. So to repel now for Sydney. He'll choose the outer side. Driving ball. Heppel dropped what he should have taken and has allowed Chad Warner to be involved. He wants to take on Merritt. He's got him. That's holding the footy umpire. Merritt will be awarded the free kick.
That is a great tackle.
So,
look at that. Wrapped him up a beauty. Put the arm out, Warner, and Merritt just grabbed it and pulled him in.
That's the voice of Troy Love's Triple M Seabus Super special comments. Seabus Super making hard work pay off since 1984.
After a lengthy delay here, Merritt will eventually take his free kick. What's the umpire worried about? There's something going on outside of play. Maybe down for Bob Jane teammates Justin Edwards. Not there at the moment. Justin?
The reason for the delay there, Logan McDonald's coming off with a blood rule, just a cut under his right eye.
So Sam Wicks injected into the ball game. So after that stoppage, Merritt does take that free kick he earned with that superb tackle, and he found Setterfield. Good mark taken by Setterfield, who's had a nice night tonight. Into the pocket to a 2-on-1, and the Swans able to kill that one with Rampy across the face, fisting it out of play. Did the Swans defenders go for too many spoils and not marks, Luffy?
Well, both Brad and I have played a lot in defence, and I prefer the marking option. And you're right there that he's clearly going to be the only one that's going to touch the ball. You go for the mark.
8 points to the home side. Middle stages, the third term. Essendon in attack. 30 metres out from there. Goal comes to Zartas. He's a chance. Can he get his boot to it? He does. And he misses to the near side. This is a minor score for a flying shot at goal. Sydney by 7 points. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
And you posed the question about clearances. Could the Swans get back on top in that category? We'll check that out on the Red Zeds, because I think they've dominated the clearances in this third term.
7-3 Swans way in this third term.
Thank you, Luffy. Dynamite on the stats with the Red Zeds. Troy Luff, nice pick up there by Florence. Set a task by the kick inboard. He got down low, picked it up in the slips Gordon, and now plays on over the top to Warner, who can take the mark and now just go. Won't be caught this time, Chad. Kicks it to a 1-on-1 just inside forward 50. Papley did well in a wrestle against McGrath. McLean over the top, handball back to Papley. He was taken high from behind. Sloppy tackle by McGrath. And Papley will take the free kick about 65 from home.
But they're not the two tallest blokes on the field, McGrath and Papley.
A little bit of intent in that tackle from Andy McGrath. Just
a little bit of ear rub.
Making his opponent earn it. So Papley with the footy. Margin stands at 7 points. He'll drive it to the dangerous position in front of goal. Amadi, McLean, they all fly. No one can bring it down. Spills to the back. Warner! Chad Warner it was who went round the body. Missed to the far side. 8 points.
Corey.
Corey Warner.
Little brother Corey.
Did I say Chad? Yeah. Apologies, listeners.
Sartis tidies up here after the kick out, and tackle lingered on him, but it's play on back to Warner, the lefty.
Barrel.
He went inside out almost. Bombers dropped the mark. It's alive top of the goal square here. Reinforcements arrived in the nick of time. They handball that through, but they're under immense pressure, the Bomber. It was Dersma who had 4 Swans descending on him, so it wasn't deliberate, the concession of that behind. It's 1 to the Swans, 10-11-71. They lead by 9, 9-8-62. The Bombers on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Martin will bring it in from fullback. A little low dart. Hits the chest of Heppel. So Heppel now crosses defensive 50 western side, drives it towards centre wing. McCartan in front of Goldstein. Takes a fine defensive mark, Tommy McCartan. Just held up for just a moment as he looks to square the footy. He changes the angle now, drives it to 40 from home. It's set. Essendon defenders come. McGrath shovels it out the back. Papley will sweat upon this if he gets a look. He does. The handball was a bit slick for Wicks. Wicks left it behind. Setterfield didn't. And Setterfield caught by Haywood will have a bounce. 30 out from the Swans' goal.
That was a goal gone begging there. Slick for Wicks was the right call. Snapper on the run. I like it. As the umpire balls it up. McLean against Goldstein. Tap towards Warner, who's finding the footy here. Taps it out to the advantage of teammates on the outside. McInerney, nice improvisation. Back to Warner. Pops up again. Flicks a handball to Jordan somehow. Bends it back. Does the team thing. Sets it up. Top of the goal square. Mark taken. Body work from Campbell. He's on the wrong side, though. Umpire said play on. And Campbell takes the shot on the run. Minor score. 10-12-72, 9-8-62. They lead by 10 now, going up in ones.
What? Did that hit the ground? What? Here we go. Have a look at the Triple M replay screen. 1, 2. How is that not a mark?
Bizarre.
You're the special comments, Luffy.
Well, it's blown me away. Held it well and truly long enough.
So Martin, well, it's a bold initiative to go into that side of the ground. Jordan gets it, gives it to Papley. He's held without the footy. The umpire says, play on, Tom. Earn your kick, little plumber, he says. Heppel. He'll release now, drives it towards centre wing, terrific kick, and Menzies will take the mark on centre wing.
Drifts it over the top, didn't find the chest of a teammate. Hobbs saw Rampy coming the other way, didn't fancy it. Rampy lets him know about it, and the umpire will throw it in here in front of the members stand at the SCG. Free kick count, please, on the Red Zeds, Luffy.
Just get the glasses, Speedy. I've got to wear glasses nowadays. 14-12 Swans way.
Swans fans feel like they've been copping a hiding
It's
there.
not a lot of free kicks, though, when you're nearly at three-quarter time.
Umpires put the whistle away at times tonight as Goldstein, nice ruck work down to Setterfield. Another clearance for him. Good body work. Blakey elected to punch once more. So did Rampy into space for Grundy. Handball to a teammate who was static, but they worked it out. Hayward to McLean. One more handball over the top would have been interesting, but he saw a better option, Florent. Out in front of Jordan. Does the team thing. Sets it up beautifully. Overhead mark taken by Patley in space, about 20 from home.
Another fast movement there from the Swans. They've now taken marks inside their forward 50-12. The Bombers just 6. It's just their accuracy at goals is what's hurting the Swans. That's the difference between this game at the moment, is the Swans have missed opportunities at goals. The Bombers haven't. We haven't seen a lot of set shots from the Bombers that have missed. They've all been rushed, whereas the Swans have missed a lot of set shots.
Papley's already kicked 2, lining up for his 3rd set shot. Stabs through another one. All 3 of his goals have been set shots tonight, and it extends the Swans' margin out to their biggest of the ball game. 11-12-78 to 9-8-62. The Bombers here. 6 minutes remaining in the 3rd term on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Can you explain this to me, Speedy? Look, he's coming off again. He's had a great game, Tom Papley. He's one of the highest possession getters for the Swans. He's had 20 disposals. He's kicked 3 goals.
He does look exhausted, though, Luffy.
Why does he have to come on?
Well, you've got to get a rest at some stage.
And Isaac Heady's played nearly the whole game.
Not easy to get him off when they're sitting in the forward pocket all day. It's a long way to the interchange bench, so you've got a minute. Utilise the time cleverly. I like it.
16 points to the good of the home side, 3 goals to 1.
Did that answer Luffy's question?
Thank you, mate.
Yeah, not bad.
Very elegantly. I like it. 6 minutes to play in this 3rd term. Sydney with a mini break. Seesawing affair up to the main break. It was just 4 points at half-time for McDonald's and Ream Hopwater. Triple M Rocks footy back in the middle. Goldstein won that one forward. Warner went without it. Thought he might have copped one high, but the umpires didn't see it. Said play on. Merritt to rip it out of the middle. Drives it with a high ball. It sits and waits. Gresham, the heat comes. Has to release the footy. Menzie round the body. Misses everything. Couldn't bend it back. Out on the full. Sydney free kick in the back pocket. Paddington end.
The Swans lead by 16 at the moment. Essendon led by 17 halfway through the 1st quarter. The highest lead for the Swans in this game.
Nice Red Zeds from Troy Luff. Just repeating what I said about a minute ago, but I still like it as the kick comes out of D50 to find Heaney on a long lead.
Well, you had to throw the sponsor in there somewhere, Speedy. You didn't say Speedy's Red Zeds, did you?
Heaney also finds the target in Grundy on centre wing, just away from the logo in front of the Bill O'Reilly stand. He chips it over the top as well. The Swans so good by foot as they work their way around the SCG.
We haven't seen slowness tonight. This is the first time we've seen slow movement.
So Campbell, he sent it wide. Boundary umpire has a good long look at it.
Calls that one.
Out of bounds on the full. Both boundary umpires did. They've got him on that side. They're eagle-eyed. This side not so. After what happened in the 2nd term, as the fist is found by Goulden to break things up. It's still alive for Cox. Good tackle laid by Campbell. Umpire let it roll. McGrath tidies up, keeps the Bombers moving forward. Menzie over the top to no one in particular. It's out of bounds.
Call that deliberate, umpire.
He'll ball it in instead.
Look, that was a bad handball. Came off the side of his hand, went straight out of bounds, but it's not a free kick.
It's got to be a kick.
So what's the difference?
11-12 plays 9-8. So the home side with a slender lead. The ball spins back into play. Ball in dispute. Campbell goes and finds it. Comes off Lloyd. Setterfield's worked hard. Florent was terrific. Cut it off at half-back. A little slick little handball to Lloyd. He gives it to Heaney and hits the chest of McLean. McLean turns quickly. Driving ball. He's found Hayward. Slick ball movement, Sydney. Hayward a chance, 30 out, acute angle, Randwick end.
And I've repeated myself a lot today, boys, but there it is again. Just that kick out over the top into space. It doesn't have to be a perfect kick. He's got so much room to run into.
Is it slingshot-like?
Oh, look, I don't think it's necessarily slingshot. It's just that they're kicking it into the space over the top of the Bombers' heads. And the thing is, the forwards are reacting faster once their teammate gets the ball. They're running backwards towards goal before the defender does.
We're seeing a young team, a highly talented team now that can keep the footy off the opposition. Hayward misses near side, margin 17 points. So the good of the Swans. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard. Beacon Trade has the backs of tradies. Now more than ever, Beacon Trade, let's make light work.
McGrath received the kick in and now pumps it to centre wing for Wright to go up. Brought to ground level for Durham, front and square. Played it cleverly. Swings onto his right boot.
Stringer.
On top of Melican's head. Stringer came over the top, tried to bring it down for Menzies to go to work on the outside. That's deliberate. Paddles it across the boundary line, and you can tell that he hasn't been pinged for it. 3.5 minutes to go. Third term, the Swans by 17 points.
79 plays the 62. We away to throw it in front of the old members stand. Ball spins back into play now. Draper, Grundy. Draper just gets it to the front. Jordan tries to sort of shovel it out. Dersma's in there working hard. What are Durham's numbers, Luffy? He's been pretty productive for the Bombers also this evening.
15 touches, couple of marks.
So Draper again wins this one. James Jordan forced to handball quickly. Caldwell left it behind. Milligan was in the way. Nick Martin coming up from half-back, pushes it back to Stringer. Stringer around the body. Bending, it's good. Stringer kicks one. Draws the margin back to 11 points in the shadows of three-quarter time. 79-68, Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Give you a couple of red Z lensing, boys. Heaney's had 24 for the Swans. Papley 20. This is his best game for a long time, including 10 marks, 3 goals. Lloyd, Warner and Goulden 16 apiece. For the Bombers, Martin 25 possessions, 22 to Setterfield, Merritt 21. And the team stats, well, Bombers still ahead of the Swans. 257 for the Swans. 278 for the Bombers.
Red Z Lending loans for the self-employed, radzed.com. And what about this handball to Stringer on the Harvey Norman replay? Just put him into space, and even though Stringer then had other options, the best option was to go for goal the way he was set up.
Stringer has one option. If he's inside forward 50, he has one option.
Brings the margin back to 11 points. Still nearly 3 minutes of game time remaining in this third term. And Bombers were about to take it out of there, but caught was Archie Perkins by McInerney. And the umpire said, hang on a minute, it's gone the other way for a dangerous, slinging old tackle. We're having a look on the Triple M Harvey Norman replay, and it does look a little dangerous, but Perkins was doing the ring-a-rosy.
What is happening to this game?
Oh, Setterfield now pumps it deep for the Bombers. Important late spoil by the Swans, but Gresham tidies up at ground level, puts the handball back outside, attacking 50 for Hind. Lays a good Shepherd to open up space for Merritt, but they're going backwards to go forwards here. Merritt, McGrath eventually goes the big up and under, drops about 40 from home, off hands. Campbell tidies up for the Swans. Goes via hands to McInerney. Heard the voice of Roberts. They chain the handballs together. It's like the Giants are playing here at the SCG. The old tsunami action from the Swans here. Florent got it from Blakey and now goes inboard. Missed Wicks though. There's still a chance. It breaks for Jordan. Picks up McInerney for his second involvement in the chain. Chips to Blakey, who can go back and take the set shot he thought about playing on.
Geez, they nearly stuffed to help the Swans. It looked so good up until that pass. Honestly, I'm still shaking my head at that tackle. That is a perfect tackle from McInerney in the centre of the ground. He tackled his arm. He didn't sling him to the ground. It was just the movement. It gets to a point, is what is happening with this game of football now? You can't tackle like that. Anyway, now we've got Nick Blakey having a shot for goal.
Some controversial Triple M C-Bus super special comments from Troy Love as Blakey lines up his first shot of the season. How's it look off the boot? It is picture perfect from the Leaping Lizard. And the Swans extend their lead. 12-13, 85 to 10-8, 68. Nick Blakey with his first major of the season and 35th of his career.
It's actually surprising. I had to look up how many goals he's kicked. I thought it was going to be less than 10. He's kicked 35 goals now in his career, and the Swans did that so well. It was the desperation to start with in the back line. Then once they got the ball, their speed of hands was so quick that the Essendon players just didn't know which way to go. It was 1, 2, 3, 4, bang, and then inside forward 50 for yet another mark.
Check out the red Zeds on Nick Blakey, because last week on the metres gain category against Collingwood, 19 possessions for the game, Metres gained, 649 for the Lizard.
He's had 17 disposals at the moment, and I'll give you the metres gained in a minute.
So the Swans by 17 points. Shadows of three-quarter time for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M Rocks footy. Game still in the balance. Good bounce this time. Draper, he wins this one again. Heaney, that's high, going to Essendon. Gee whiz.
James,
Called to play on now. Nick Martin with the handball. He'll drive it towards centre wing outer. Dersmer will pick it up in front of Campbell. Turn quickly. Drives it in towards right. He can't mark McCartan, and Melican should sort it out and get the ball out of play. We'll have a ball in, 30 out from the Essendon goal.
Sam.
Luffy?
Honestly, I don't know where to find it, Speedy.
We'll get a tutorial for you during the week. Lock it in for Monday, 12 p.m, Luffy. Triple M Red Z lending stats going amiss there from Troy Luff, who's been given that responsibility as Goulden affects the clearance, takes the Swans out at D50, out in front of Logan McDonald, who soccers it on for the Swans, out in front of McLean. The big man is running fast. Links up with Patley, busts through a tackle from Mackay, takes a bounce, there's Patley, he's all action. How's the kick? Gave them a chance inside forward, 52-on-1, breaks to ground level. Spinning his way through was Warner. Wicks couldn't hold on. Mackay able to tidy up for the Bombers, and they're out through Heppel's kick.
Yeah, good kick too. Went round the body. Corbell made a mess of it. Allows Roberts to come in. Braden Campbell pushes it forward. Boundary line beats him, and we'll get a throw in. 9 seconds to play, third term. Swans 85, Essendon 68.
Tell you what has been impressive with the Swans this year is their marking inside forward 50 and scoring from. They've scored 9 of their goals from marks inside their forward 50 today. Essendon just 4. I found that stat, Speedy.
Thank you, Luffy.
Ball gets to the back. Goulden, can he get his boot to it? He can. It's a mark to McLean. A siren sounds. So margin stands at 17 before the McLean kick. This will hurt Essendon late in the term.
Oh, biggest margin of the game if he kicks this, and he's going back a long way.
Even when Errol Goulden's off balance getting tackled, he still finds a target.
Yeah, just put it to a dangerous spot, didn't he? Sydney win the contest, the clearance from the throw-in quickly onto Goulden's boot, puts it to a dangerous spot. So McLean now with the footy. A chance to set Sydney on a 23-point lead into three-quarter time. Directly in front, punches the air, does Hayden McLean. And they take a 23-point lead into three-quarter time. 13-13, 91 Sydney. They lead Essendon 10-8, 68. Luffy will break it apart for you after this short break. It's thanks to McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M rocks football.
That quarter for Beacon Trade. Beacon Trade has the backs of tradies now more than ever. Beacon Trade, let's make light work.
For McDonald's,
Triple M rocks footy.
Macca's new surprise fries. Peel any medium or large fries for a chance to find a prize. 3.5 minutes until Triple M ranks footy. Minutes until
Triple M rocks footy.
Two and a half minutes until
Triple M rocks footy.
minutes until
Triple M rocks footy.
90 seconds until
Triple M rocks footy.
One minute until
Triple M rocks footy.
.30 seconds until
Triple M rocks footy.
Shut up! The footy's on Triple M!
Triple M rocks footy.
This quarter for titanium caravans. Stay off-road and off-grid for longer with a luxurious titanium caravan. Visit titaniumcaravans.com.au.
Three-quarter time in the Harbour City, and it's the home side by 23 points as Sydney chase win number 3 to start the 2024 season. 13-13-91 to Essendon 10-8-68. Standing by boundary side is our man. He's been busy all night, is Justin Edwards.
Yeah, Harry Cunningham still getting himself involved at the three-quarter time huddle. Very much involved in the little defenders group that they have in the huddle. So good to see him in good spirits after that nasty first quarter incident. Essendon, on the other hand, still yet to activate their subs. Owen Davey Jr. did spend a big part of that third quarter warming up, so expect them to activate their sub early on in this final term.
Thank you, Justin. Bob Jane T-Marts of great buy 3, get 1 free, plus instant cashback deals. Call or shop online today. T's and C's apply. Luffy, I turn to you with all the Triple M Red Z lending stats to three-quarter time. Sydney with a 23-point lead.
Isaac Heaney, 25. Papley, 21. 10 marks, 3 goals. He's looking at the best player on the ground for me. Goulden, 18. 17 to Blakey, McInerney and Chad Warner for the Bombers. Martin's had 26. Merritt, 24. 23 to Setterfield. They've got a lot of guys at the top, but it's low on the bottom. And one of the big differences for that quarter, 51 kicks to 45 Swans Essendon, 69% efficiency to 56 efficiency. The clearances, 11-8 to the Swans. Grundy had 9 hit-outs, 5 to advantage. So what we saw in the first half was Essendon dominating all bounces around the ground. That quarter, it was all the Swans.
Just recap for me, your best player on the ground is who?
I reckon Papley at the moment.
Number 11 for the Swans. Number 21 hasn't been better than him. Errol Goulden with what he's done. You've forgotten about Errol's game.
Goulden's had less possessions. Papley's had 21 disposals, 10 marks and 3 goals.
Any good Errol's goal possessions?
I'm not saying Errol hasn't been good. I'm saying Papley's been better, more influential.
For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocks footy. Can Essendon get back-to-back wins? Or will Sydney be 3-0 at the end of this one? They get a free kick out of the middle. It'll go to Chad Warner. He looks up and drops it on the chest of Sammy Wicks, and the boys run for him. He's got either option. It could be Chad Warner or it could be Goulden. Warner gives it to Goulden. Goulden on his left side, a little chipping ball. He wants Grundy down low in the grass to Haywood. Haywood will bend it round. Sydney with the fast start. Just what the doctor ordered as they stand and applaud at the northern end. Sydney stretched the margin to 29 points, 97-68. Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
I don't know about you. When you look at Brodie Grundy, 202 centimetres, sprinted out, picked the ball, bent down and picked the ball up in one swoop and handballed it off to Haywood. That was fantastic from the big man, Brodie Grundy, to set that up. 31 seconds that took. Another centre clearance from the Swans. First hands on the ball, and they get another goal.
Yeah, stand by for the Triple M Harvey Norman replay of that act from Brodie Grundy as well. He celebrated, even though he provided the goal assist for Will Hayward. He celebrated more than Hayward did, Brodie Grundy. It was in the press today talking about being off Broadway in Sydney. No one knows who he is down at North Bondi. He's loving life in the Harbour City, going under the radar. But he was letting everyone know about his work there, and Luffy obliged.
Oh, that was fantastic. And you know what the good thing, it was all in one movement. Bend down, grabbed it, handball in the one motion.
Swans by 29 points. Draper beats Grundy. All ends up that time out of the ruck contest. There was some holding going on as Cox was attempted to be found by Perkins. Swans got away with one there, perhaps, as McInerney receives from Warner. Chips over the top, and Grundy gets there. Gets a free kick, I think, even though he dropped the mark. Nick Martin infringed on the big Brodie Grundy, who's knocked off his former teams, Collingwood and Melbourne, in the last 2 rounds, and now eyeing off a win over Essendon, who he used to play on Anzac Day many a time, of course. Pumps it long, does Brodie. Holding going on deep. No free kick for McLean, but the Swans tidy up at ground level. Lovely handball over the top from Patley. Florent, who's had a terrific game, can't oblige. Through for a minor score. 14-14, 98 the Swans. Lead by an even 30 now. 10-8, 68 the Bombers on the Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
So Nick Hine will bring it back in and goes to the former skipper in Heppel. He marks in the pocket, looks up, drives it towards Durham. Been pretty productive tonight. Started the season pretty well. Got a runner, Sartis going past, who thumps it onto the chest of Langdon. So they've worked it to centre wing now, the Bombers, as they look to claw back this 30-point lead. Langdon now. Langford, sorry.
Carl Langdon?
Yeah. Gone back in time. Yeah. Looking for a little Amy Clanger late in the game.
There it is.
So Langford, Bradley.
Let it get away with it once, Speedy, twice.
Durham goes to the hot spot. Big fist come, waiting down Warner front and square. Millican lends a hand to the kicker in Goulden. Goulden runs clear, just delivers a little low ball. Wicks can't keep it in, can he? No, he can't.
Well,
he got it on the half volley. And the crowd don't like it, but he was out of play, and they'll throw it in centre wing. 14-14, 98 Sydney. They lead Essendon 10-8, 68.
The Banbury Arms are copping it tonight, aren't they, hey?
Same two who missed the Langford moment a couple of quarters ago. Picked up on Sam Weeks there as the Setterfield gets after the ball at ground level again, lays a sloppy tackle on Rowbottom, gets away with it, ball locked in, and the umpire says, give it to me.
He's not often, Rowbottom. He's only had the 5 disposals tonight.
How many tackles, which is normally his go?
Well, he had 13 last week. He's had 8 tonight, so he's still had plenty of input.
Tackle a little late here from Wicks, so Cox able to get Essendon deep inside forward 50, and Millican did well not to infringe there on Langford, who tried to take the overhead mark.
And talk about tackles, that's the other thing that really helped the Swans in the third quarter. They laid 18 tackles for that quarter. Put a lot of pressure on the Bombers ball carriers and effectively ruined their kicking efficiency.
And even 5 goals. The home side lead by Grundy. Gets to the front. Merritt steals it off him, pushes it forward. McCartan will have to go back and get rid of it. Great tackle.
Who's this? Martin. So what did you guys make a bet on? If Heaney gets 33 and Martin gets 33?
That was poor from Tommy McCartan because he had Louis Millican standing in the goal square by himself calling for the handball, and he decided to try and take on the player, and you just don't do that close to the goals.
Nah, 31. Both 31. Both get 31. Martin and Heaney both get 31. Is that a bet?
Make short work of that. Essendon claw one back.
Why ban Drew? What's wrong with Drew? What's wrong with Drew?
Be sitting here going, we've got this for the Swans, but last year we saw the Bombers kick 5 of the last 6
How about both 31 for 100 million? Huge. Fine, but my huge won't be 100 million worth deal. Both 32, how about both 31? And if it happens, I also get mod. Yeah, I'll make that a deal. So what's this? If Heaney gets, how about both 31 for 100? What's this? If Heaney gets to 31 and Martin gets 31 disposals, you give me a huge. If they don't, then so that means John, well, this is confusing. You give me a huge, if not, I give you one. So
outlawed after that, of course. Up they go in the middle
So
again.
if they both
Over
get
the top
31,
from,
Random gets
Grundy.
bowled and he gets a huge from John.
Warner coughed up the handball. Rowbottom helped him out.
Alright.
They pinballing around. Eventually breaks the
I'll leave it
Draper,
on here,
who
dude.
tries to whack it
I
home
wonder
from
if this
49 metres out, lands in the
updates.
goal square for Goldstein.
This
who's still
doesn't look
playing
like
the
it's
big man.
happening.
Tries to tap it down to the ruck work for teammates, but the Swans able to rush it through for a minor score. I think that was a scrappy old passenger play. Swans by 23 points.
So, Jakey Lloyd, two-time best and fairest.
I don't think they're
To bring
going to
it back
both
in
get
for the Randwick
to.
chooses
This was a pretty
broadcast
bad
side,
bet, Random
drives it.
Streams.
Heaney can't get in the van, and it's punched away by Durham. Ball out of play in front of the Churchill stand.
That was actually clever from Isaac Heaney. His arm was getting held, and he knew he couldn't actually take the mark. So the next option was just hit it hard towards the boundary line, hoping to get it out of bounds, cause a stoppage.
So early exchanges, final term.
Oh, there's still like
Ball spins back into
17
play.
minutes left.
Grundy gets to the front. Draper with a big fish. Stringer's got it. This is dangerous for Swans defenders. He goes to ground. They pile in on top. Heaney tries to shovel it out. It comes out now. Slicklet will give to Lloyd to Rowbottom. He'll drive it clear towards centre wing. They set themselves. McDonald can't mark. Good tackle. That came from Haywood. Crowd want a ball. They're not going to get it. And we'll have a ball up. 7 minutes gone. Final term. 98 Sydney. They lead Essendon 75.
It is such an important part of the game, tackling, and that's something the Swans have been strong for the last 20 or so years. They really focus on tackling.
What about activating the sub? Is Brad Scott missing a trick here? The Bombers coach keeping Alwyn Davey in the shed until now as Heaney gets after the ball on the logo. Comes back to him via the hands of James Jordan. Turns onto his left boot out in front of Amati. Sticky hands. Kept it away from Mackay, who couldn't affect the spoil. Amati marks 70 from home in front of the members stand at the SCG. Sets it up for the big man. He was outgunned.
Poor kick.
2-on-1 contest, and the Bombers worked it cleverly for Martin to take the mark uncontested. Nice body work by
Yeah, Swans are going good.
Streams away from two. Oh, he's run about 20 metres before the third bounce that never came.
20 metres.
On that decision, and it's going all the way towards goal. And umpire says, let's get a free kick to the
He ran 20.
Free kick, pushing
4 more.
in the marking contest.
Oh, Zach Merritt ran 30 metres without
Legally
a bounce,
getting
and
rid of the ball
umpires have
via
got the
handball
rule.
or a kick.
So McCartan now to repel for Sydney. Hemmed in the back pocket,
Wait,
just pulls the kick cleverly. And he finds Blakey right on defensive 50.
There's only been 31 free kicks for the whole game, Speedy. St Kilda got 28 on Thursday night.
Yeah, that's right. St Kilda got 38.
Drives that
And there's only been 22 for this whole match, or whatever I just said. That's just robness.
Handball misses Corey Warner, comes to Rowbottom. He goes in, he goes out, gives it back to Corey Warner, draws a crowd, gives it to his brother, Chad Warner from 50. Misses.
That's a
chance gone begging.
That's a gimme for Chad.
Uh-oh.
An even 4 goals.
28.
24 points, the margin. Triple M Titanium.
Brothers would have dreamt of a moment like that too, Luffy.
I know. And for Chad Warner, who's been kicking a couple of goals every week, that's a gimme.
So the Bombers just hanging in there, trailing by 4 straight kicks here as they chip it around down back. Need to find a way to get it forward in a hurry here. 14 minutes of game time remaining. They go to Dersma, hugging the boundary line in front of the ladies stand here at the SCG. Goes back inboard, so they've had about 5 possessions here, gained a ground sum of about 40 metres. So McGrath, who's gained the most metres of anyone in this game, puts it on the chest of Goldstein. Wheels and goes the big man, puts it down in front of Langford and Melican. Thumps it into row 1 here in front of the Brawongle stand. And we get the stoppage just inside the attacking 50 for the Bombers, who trail by 24 points on the Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
Langford's probably been their most active forward for the Bombers. He's had 11 disposals, taken 6 marks, kicked a couple of goals, and he's been in amongst it for most of the game.
And pressing here, Hobbs a chance versus Chad Warner. We want the boundary line, and he gets it. And ball out of play, just with a lazy knee into the back of Isaac Heaney as he falls awkwardly across the boundary line. With a way to throw in front of the Churchill. So Essendon a chance here. Peter Wright in the ruck versus Grundy. It's a shallow throw in. Grundy gets to the front. Spits out to James Jordan. High ball. Merritt waits down. Merritt round the body with his left. Oh, that's a magical goal.
Merritt has kicked a goal and it is back to 18 points.
And that was terrific. His second for the term. And they claw another one back. Margin 18 points. Essendon 81, Sydney 99 on the Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
You just see it happen so often. The Swans have had all the play in their forward half. They've had shots at goal, opportunities to create shots at goal, and they've missed it. And all of a sudden, the first time it goes down into Essendon's forward 50, bit of a scrimmage. And Merritt's had a fantastic game today. He's had 27 disposals and kicked a couple of goals.
Justin Edwards, Bob Jane team ups.
Essendon have activated their sub, and it's a bit of a surprise. Owen Davey Jr. is in. Sam Draper, the man that's been substituted. So Brad Scott's opted to leave Todd Goldstein in the game and sub out Sam Draper.
Yeah, first game back. He's probably on monitored minutes.
He has been playing well, Draper. He's had 12 disposals, kicked a goal as well.
3 VFL games to get ready for AFL level, now taken out of the ball game. So Goldstein in the middle against McLean. Goldie did well, brought it down, but there's no way out. Secondary stoppage inside the circle.
Drew feet, do you go for Sydney Swans?
The Swans are happy to do that right now, but the Bombers affect the clearance. Get it inside forward 50. Bouncing ball was a clean bowled Melican, right? Trying to get the ball to sit for him. It did not, but the Bombers lock it inside forward 50. And we'll get the ball up here about 35 from goal.
Random is not going
to. 18-point buffer now in favour of the Swans.
Precarious moments for Sydney.
Drew, who
Ball
do you
elevates,
go for?
Right pushes it forward. Gresham a chance. He's caught in a good
No,
tackle.
you are not,
Just pushed
John.
forward by McLean, but it's going to come back because Heppel marks about 80 from home. Broadcast side of the ground. Attacking the Randwick end in this final term, Essendon. Heppel gallops away, drives it deep to the pocket. They set themselves. McLean gets a hand in, and he'll get the ball and a play forward pocket. 99 Sydney, 81 Essendon.
They've all pushed forward, or I should say all pushed in defence, the Swans. So if ball comes out here, there are only 2 Swans players, and there's, 5 Essendon players sitting where the next kick will go.
Too early for that mode of footy.
Way too early.
Umpire balls it in, right in the ruck contest. Thumped on by Florent in the end, only as far as Perkins. Caught as he tried to get the kick away. Stringer trying to soccer. Goulden got down, bent over, got the footy, kicks it over the top. Of a one-on-one contest. Heaney, Warner outpoints Nick Cox and goes via hands to McInerney, paddling it eventually across the boundary line. And the umpire says, let's ball that one in.
And that's exactly the result they needed, because the Swans didn't have enough players forward even if they did get the kick in. So now the Swans players can push forward.
And arguably the best player on the ground, Goulden, affected the kick to advantage of teammates.
Papley, you mean?
So ball back into play. High contact. Essendon was the call on the umpire's mic. So Goldstein will take the free kick. McLean, the offending opponent. So he'll gallop away from the logo, drives it deep towards 50, front and square. Heaney waits down, has to get rid of the 40.
Be careful of this game.
It's going to come back to Gresham. So free kick, Essendon 55 from home.
Okay, what was that, John?
Gresham is a little man. He copped it high, right in the face. Bonus free kick. He's kicked to right. Not good enough through the hands of 2-metre Peter, and the Swans kick to space again out in front of McDonald. Mackay got there, made up the ground for the spoil. That bounces into the second row, and we get the stoppage in front of the Bill O'Reilly stand.
Again, that's what the Swans needed, because McDonald was the furthest forward Swans player. So even if he did get it, there was no one passing the kick to.
So they got time to restructure now, both behind and forward of the footy. Neutral territory. They throw it in, eastern side of the ground, centre wing. Cleverly done. Or coming through was Durham. Is that holding the footy or high? Neither.
Same. I haven't touched it.
You've had prior opportunity. He took them on there and got tackled and should have been holding the ball.
So Campbell, a little fumble. He was held without it. Dersma burst clear, going back with the flight. Tom McCartan, as he so often does. He's given it up to Gresham. Gresham goes to Stringer. Stringer wants his left side. Handballs it forward. Can they get their mitts on it? Langford caught. Wants to get rid of the footy. Gresham pushes it through.
Desperation.
It'll be a minor score for Essendon. Desperation stakes now at the Randwick end. 17 points to the good of the home side. Triple M, Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
Dane Rampy just ran 30 metres away that tackle.
And a fumble from Langford might have cost him. The Swans go right down the guts here, but the tackle from the sub. Davey creates a turnover. Got a legal kick away, but it doesn't matter now. No, he waited for the footy. Takes the mark in the end, Gresham. He was lucky. McCartan nearly got there to affect the spoil, and Gresham marks 40 from home here. A chance to make the margin back to just 11 points if he
That
kicks
means you
truly
could
here.
get a
Inexperience
huge.
there from McInerney. Just at this time of the game, you
Probably,
don't need to try and
I'll
take
say
someone in the
so.
middle of the ground. Just get it going forward, because the mistake has now caused an opportunity for the Bombers to bring the margin back to 11 points.
Kicked the opening goal of the game in the first minute, lining up for goal number 3 here, the former Saint. He's almost directly in front, comes inside the arc, kicks from 48 metres out, gives it everything, the little man. He likes it off the boot, another fist bump. It's tightening up at the SCG big time here, the Bombers. 13-10-88, trail the Swans 14-15-99 by 11 points on the Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
Essendon have just kicked another goal. No
Efficiency, how
way.
bad it has been up until three-quarter time. Well, in this last quarter, it's now up to 79%. They've had it inside 50 12 times to just 4 for the Swans. So all of a sudden they've cleaned up their act with their kicking, and they're getting the results for it.
That's the voice of Troy Love, Triple M Seabus. Super special comments. So a chance here. The Gresham kicks his third, margin back to 11 points. It's been a seesawing affair all night. 34,954. Just shown on the scoreboard for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M Rocks footy. Important moment now. Warner just dribbles it forward. McGrath comes full-chested straight at the footy. Rowbottom goes off the ground. Perkins stands in the way. Rowbottom backs up for a second go. It pinballs back to Florent. Florent a little low handball. Grundy, he's on centre wing. I'm not sure if that's his go and lateral movement, but he eases one to McInerney at forward 50.
Grundy and Goldstein taking on each other there in the sprint race.
Been on the dance floors of Bondi, has he, Brody, with that kind of work. So McInerney taking his time, chips into space. Goulden popped up here and taken the mark. He juggled it 3 times for theatrical effect, but he'll go back and take the set shot here.
Terrific kick, McInerney.
And again, just Errol Goulden's work rate. He just ran in hard. Is he going to kick this around the corner? No. I thought he was marking it to kick around the corner. But yeah, Errol Goulden's ran centre of the ground, saw a little bit of space, ran
What's
into
happening
it,
now?
spot on kick from McInerney.
Could this move Luffy's needle? If he takes them past the ton at the SCG, Errol Goulden. They're on 99, the Swans. He's one of the best players in the comp. Errol
he's kicked
Goulden,
it.
left foot shot on the way. Oh, mark it down for Errol. And he's got the celebration going.
He's kicked it.
Soccer, I reckon, because he loves his Liverpool, does Errol Goulden. And he's made it 15-15, 105 to 13-10, 88. Handy margin now with 9 minutes of game time remaining on the Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
It is a handy margin, means Essendon now have to kick 3 goals. But it's just been such an entertaining last quarter and such an entertaining whole game. It's not often we've had 28 goals kicked. When you have tight games like this, it's like 65 to 71 or even worse. But the Swans have hit the ton. Essendon may hit the ton. It's been a good, high-scoring, fast-moving game from the start.
And the best player on the ground is Luffy.
Well, it's going to be a toss-up between Goulden and Papley, I reckon.
At least it's a toss-up now.
Well, I've also got Zach Merritt in there as well. He's had the, what's he had now, 27 disposals and kicked a couple of snags.
So about 8.5, well, 8.5 and change to go.
Plenty of time.
For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy. Good bounce for a change. They've had to recall a few tonight. They come through centre field. Little handball goes back to Chad Warner. He flicks it out to Grundy to McInerney. McInerney's quick, bursts away, drives it, and shoves it down McLean's throat.
Look at McInerney celebrate.
McLean marks 40
his
out
places
directly
now?
in front, Paddington end.
Just shows you how crucial centre clearances can be with the 6-6-6
it's
setup.
the same.
You don't have players sitting behind the ball. Grundy won another hit out there. I'll give you the stats in a minute after this. And all of a sudden, it's opened up the room for McLean to run into. And great kick from McInerney as well.
So McLean a chance. Stands at 17 points. We've travelled just over 20 minutes final term. 40 metres out. Directly in front. He drives. He sort of chipped at it a bit, didn't he? So an even 3 goals the margin. 18 points is the margin. Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
4-1 the centre clearances this quarter Swans way.
The Bombers go right up the middle here. Kick towards row bottom. Durham with no intent for the footy gives away an obvious free kick. The most obvious of the night. The men in yellow say thank you, Sam Durham. We've got an easy one to adjudicate on. Rowbottom takes that free kick. Goes straight back from whence it came. Mark almost taken by McGrath. Dropped it. Had time to tidy up. Go to Mackay. And now Perkins on the outside. There's an option over the top. They missed Caldwell though. Well read by Matty Roberts, who takes the chest mark for the Swans. 75 from home.
Slowing down, but it's a little bit early. Still 7 minutes of game time.
He'll chip it to the pocket. Does McGrath get there? He does. In front of Haywood and just gets the ball out of play. We'll have a throw in. Sydney deep into attack. City end of the ground. 106 plays 88. 21 and a half minutes of final term. Good crowd in again. Ball spins back into play. Grundy was clever. Papley being held. Papley being held, was he? I think he was. Free kick, Papley. Well, Nick Hine, he's got his hands on his head. In a game where there hasn't been too many free kicks awarded, Luffy, this is an important one.
No, I'm having a look now. It's 18 to the Swans, 17 to the Bombers. So, no, not many at all. Have a look at the Triple M Harvey Norman replay screen. It's a free kick.
What did you see?
Well, you can see Papley's going for the ball, and he just does that, wrap the arm, let it go, wrap the arms, let it go. And in the end, after you do it 3 or 4 times, you're going to get pinged for it.
So Papley now a chance.
Become best on ground.
To extend it to 24 points. To the City end, the right arm extends. He makes no mistake, the plumber. Sydney by 24 points, Triple M Titanium Caravan.
Sydney by 24 now. Looks like they've done enough, I think.
Both teams, the Swans, Isaac Heaney, 26 disposals. Chad Warner, 24. Golden, 23. Papley, 23. McInerney, 21. 20 to Lloyd. And over across at the Bombers, Martin and Merritt, 28 apiece. Setterfield, 27. McGrath had 22. So it's going to be tight when it comes to the 1, 2, 3, Speedy. I know we're going to have to toss the coin between maybe Tommy Papley and Errol Goulden. Brad, you might have to have the final decision.
That's your job, Luffy.
So the margin to 24 points, 6 minutes and 42 seconds of game time remaining. Tough for the Bombers now. Swans well on their way to a 3-0 start. And the Giants going well as well across town. Sydney football alive and kicking big time as Grundy goes up against Goldstein once more. Umpires found another free kick. It's going the way of the Bombers against Goldstein thought it must be the on-ballers in Merritt, and eventually it goes to the ruckman, plays on quickly to Merritt, and they worked it out in the end. They hit Hind up on the outside. Little dart inside, forward 50, made it tough on his teammate, but they lock it in there with a nice little hand. And now Gresham floats it back to Stringer. What a little tap that was. Back to Merritt, who finds a teammate all alone in the pocket. It's Langford who can kick it from here.
Have a look, while this is going on, have a look over on the other side of the ground. One of the Swans players is cramping up and Hind is helping him.
That's Tom Papley.
Papley.
Could that affect his vote if he's cramping up?
He's cramping up, and Hind is grabbing his foot and trying to help him with the cramp.
In the meantime, Langford pulls it to the near side with the snap from the boundary line from 40 out. Minor score 13-11, 89, 16-16, 112. The Swans on top.
4 goals in 6 minutes. That's what faces Essendon here. Braden Campbell just eases it to Tommy McCartan. He looks up. Drives a little low one to McLean, and those mitts were sticky. Solid. Strong mark. So McLean, they've worked it to about 80 from home.
7 marks to McLean, snapper today.
The eastern side of the ground. He drives this towards centre wing. His ruckman Grundy will see it out of play with a big spiking fist, and they'll reset. 5.5 minutes to play. It's 112 Sydney, 89 Essendon.
Triple M Red Z lending stats sprinkled in nicely by Luffy in the last quarter here.
Just having a look, Chad Warner's had 7 in this last quarter, and for the Bombers, Gresham and Merritt have had 6 apiece.
On the logo, Bombers go after it. Durham, big body of Grundy, and flicked it to Heaney on the outside in one motion, did Brody. Back to Jordan and back to Heaney. Another handball over the top from Isaac to Goulden. No looker back to Heaney. 3 times in the chain. Now it's to Warner on the outside. Looks to find McInerney. What a kick to advantage. McInerney lost his footing at a key moment, and the Bombers able to take it out of there. That was an entertaining passage of play by the Swans, who now tidy up through Roberts, and they take the mark inside forward 50 this time.
Lloyd, what are you doing in there? Lloyd's taking a mark 50 metres out in the forward line. We don't see this too often, Snapper.
So McInerney made good positioning, but Lloyd just going to milk the clock, and probably wise. The stalwart Jakey Lloyd, two-time best and fairest winner. He'll be in no hurry at all to get rid of this one.
You got the distance, you reckon?
I don't think it really matters at this stage.
Kicking from right on 50, maybe 51 metres.
It'll take his best.
Play on.
Play on now. Drives it, and in doing so, hooks the footy. And he gets it back to an even 4 goals, 24 points. Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard. Stay off-road and off-grid for longer with the luxurious Titanium Caravan.
Okay, have a look at the crowd. Have a look how many people have already left. They think the Swans have won. I reckon we've lost about 5,000 people. Why wouldn't you stick around to the end? Don't understand that.
Well, there's a few watering holes about 300 metres just to the north that go okay.
And it's a little bit chilly. Maybe someone hadn't dressed appropriately tonight at the SCG as the ball comes to centre wing, and Blakey breaks even against Wright that time. Good contest. And the umpire says, give it to me.
4 goals in 4 minutes. They need the Bombers. The equation getting harder. Neutral ball, Perkins. He's been pretty good tonight, as has this man, McGrath. Round the body towards half forward. Langford tracks it back. If it sits for him, he could give it over to Stringer. Stringer's a chance. There's one. Essendon claw one back. So margin back to 18 points. 16-17, 113 Sydney, 14-11, 95 Essendon on the Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
Now, I mentioned before, Kyle Langford, he's definitely been the most active forward, and he's had a reasonably good game. He's had 13 disposals, 7 marks and a couple of goals. And Stringer, who you'd think he's had a quiet day, but then just bobs up with something special. He's now kicked a couple of very important goals, one in the third quarter and here in the last quarter. And, you know, a lot of people have left, but there's 3 minutes 47 left on the clock. And only 3 goals down, the Bombers. And said last year they kicked 5 of the last 6 goals to only just lose to the Swans.
A lot of the Swans fans have to rock up early for the march to the match at 6:30. They've got to line up in Driver Avenue, so you've got to budget your time, maybe.
Yep.
Got to take off early after rocking up.
Public transport's not great, so they want to get the first bus and train home.
The tram as well outside, but it's still game on here. 18 points the margin. Can the Bombers really get a roll on? And we've got a secondary recall bounce here, Brad. Number 37, it's not really in his locker, I don't think.
You know, they've banned the bounce in the waffle, so they just throw it up everywhere.
Yep.
Just makes sense, doesn't it?
Improved the game a lot in the waffle, apparently. Socket out of there by Heaney. And one-on-one contest just inside the arc for the Swans. Well played by Heppel, but in the end it breaks to Heaney. Fires a handball right across the face of the square towards Warner. He does well against Martin. Still going here. Ball to be won inside forward 50 now. Warner latches onto it. Left foot snap across his body. And Chad Warner puts the seal on things. He's missed a few tonight, but he nails this one. It's the Swans' 17th goal. 17-17, 119 to 14-11, 95 with 3 minutes to go. They lead by 4 goals on the Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
I reckon there was a big sigh of relief went across the whole crowd there, because too many times these people have seen the Swans either blow leads like this or make it too tight. With Chad Warner coming in, kicking a nice snag there, I think it's just about putting it out of question now for the Swans. And high-scoring match. We've had over 200 points scored today. In today's AFL, we don't see it too often when teams get such high scores, particularly if Essendon kick another goal. For 2 teams to kick 100 points each, that is very rare.
So Sydney staring at 3 and zip start to 2024. 17-17, 119. They lead Essendon 14-11, 95 for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M Rocks footy. Back in the middle. Rowbottom working feverishly, as is Heaney. Ball spits out Merritt. McGrath, they share it with Perkins. Now Nick Martin gets involved. Drives it towards half forward. McDonald's back there for Sydney. Durham picks it up in the grass. One way then the other to McGrath, and he squirts it wide to Stringer at 65.
Asking about where the man on the mark was. Blakey played it well. He asked for touched off the boot. Would have denied a teammate an intercept mark. The umpires didn't see it that way. They pay the mark to Ollie Florent, who's had a terrific game. He almost plays as a makeshift hybrid sort of centre half back, doesn't he? And always reads the play so well. Chips it wide into the pocket. But you talked about how high scoring it is, Luffy. You need to be a high scoring team, don't you? If you want to win the comp, you've got to have that arsenal in your locker.
Absolutely, but you've also got to have the defence as well. And so they've still allowed their opposition to kick 95 points.
So they share it, and it ends in the arms of Matty Roberts. 30 minutes played, final term. They lead it by 24 points. They're going to start 2024 in pretty efficient fashion. 3-0 counting for Melbourne, Collingwood, and now Essendon in successive weeks. So Heaney called the play on centre wing now. He'll drive it towards half forward. Grundy waits underneath it, can't take the mark. Papley front and square. James Jordan rides shotgun with him. A little low ball towards goal. He's kicked a beauty. Oh, James Jordan. That'll be replayed on Monday. They come from everywhere to congratulate him, but he was almost in row 3 when he let fly on the right shoe. And it went skimming off the grass and straight through. 30 points the margin now as we count down a minute and change in the final term. Triple M Titanium scoreboard. 18-17-125 Sydney. Essendon 14-11-95.
First goal in the red and white for James Jordan. Well done. That's why everyone got over to him. And I've got to tell you, Brodie Grundy in the first half, I think he was well beaten in the ruck and he wasn't getting a lot of the ball. In this second half, he has really turned it around. He's had 19 hit-outs and he's had 10 disposals himself. So after being well beaten by both Draper and Goldstein, Grundy's turned around the second half.
When Mills and Adams and Parker come back, is Jordan in the best 22?
Well,
the thing is that
Sydney have won,
22 or 23
so
to
got
pick
that
from.
tip
That's the
correct.
thing. There's always injuries, suspension.
Are you in politics or special
It's
comments?
a better game.
I'm being objective, that's all.
Is he in their best 23? As he takes a swig on the bottle and avoids comment again, Troy Luff. Extraordinary scenes. Papley left it behind. Hine gets after it. Set upon by Hayward. Ball spills on the outside to Warner. Looking for two and quick to Chad Warner has a couple. The Swans go bang, bang. And the fans who've hung around at the SCG are being treated to a late show here. 19-17,
He's just lying, I think.
They lead by a big margin now over the Bombers, 14-11-95 on the Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
In the blink of an eye, the Swans have kicked 6 goals this quarter. What was pretty even, all of a sudden the Swans have just totally dominated this last part of the game. Having a look at the last quarter stats, 77 disposals, the Swans, 68 to the Bombers. And Speedy, to answer your question, there are players out there that I don't think are in their best 23.
Name them.
No, I don't want to name them because I have blokes sitting next to me that always had to go at me about it. So, but there are some players out there that if I was selecting, I would have other players in their place.
So Chad Warner missed an opportunity when his brother set him up earlier in the term, has since gone on to go bang, bang with 2 lovely finishes, including that right foot snap.
For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocks footy. Goulden, Setterfield got him in a good tackle. That's holding the footy. So they can escape now, the Bombers, to Merritt quickly. Pulls the trigger towards Stringer. He can't take the mark. Florence is clobbered, but he's still got the handball to Jordan. Jordan goes wide to Chad Warner. Rides the tackle from McGrath. Cleverly done. Has a bounce. Just squeezed the little one to Matty Roberts, and he goes wider still. And Jake Lloyd takes the mark. Just forward to centre wing, out of side.
Red Zeds for Chad Warner, please, Troy Luff, as the Swans go deep here.
28 disposals and 2 goals. This quarter, he has had 11 disposals and kicked 2 goals.
Late run for some votes, perhaps, from Chad Warner. Be catching the umpire's eyes, I reckon. He's given away 50 here, though, as the umpires ping him and allow Hobbs to just stroll through the middle of the SCG. It's a conservative 50.
No, you can't,
it's
sorry.
about 15 metres less than Draper got earlier in the game as they tip it to the pocket. 2-on-1. Swans win out. Ball to be won now. Hayward against 4 Bombers in search of a consolation goal. Langford from the boundary line across his body. Lands in the goal square. Bounces out towards Gresham, who chips it to Stringer for a late shot here from 30 out. That should come after the siren. So crowd falls silent, but they're ready to sing the song here at the SCG. The Swans will win. Stringer might kick a late one. He's going back to take the set shot. He knows the siren is about to sound.
And that's it.
And there it goes.
Good game. See ya. Peace out.
Stringer told that he must kick over the man on the mark. looking to take the Bombers past 100 at the SCG, but it won't be enough. Moves in, drop one on the way.
I've got to do this.
15-11, 101
just for someone here.
to challenge the Swans in the
Here it
end,
is.
who win 19-17, 131 by 30 points at the SCG to go 3-0.
Sydney win by 30 points, 131 to 101, and Sydney win.
Cheer, cheer the red and the white. Honor the name by day and by night. Lift that noble banner high. Shake down the thunder from the sky. Whether the odds be great or small, Swans will go in and win overall. While our loyal Swans are marching onwards to victory. Cheer the red and the white. Honor the name by day and by night. Lift that noble banner high. Shake down the thunder from the sky. Whether the odds be great or small, Swans will go in and win overall. While our loyal Swans are marching onwards to victory.
Oh, you didn't hear that. My mic was muted, but GWS is first, Melbourne's next, Sydney, Gold Coast, Fremantle, GWS, Carlton, Port Adelaide, Essendon, St Kilda, Brisbane, Adelaide, Richmond, Collingwood, North Melbourne, Hawthorn, Western Bulldogs, and West Coast Eagles. I'll be streaming this game and this game. Not this game. Alright. See ya. Bye. Peace.